vibe, we lay. You purple, you gay. You leech ass, lil' fame. I won't war, not the same. Fuck wrong. Fuck wrong, these people. Fuck wrong. I try to tell these motherfuckers time and time, nigga. Fuck wrong. Pussy ass, purple ass niggas, man. Fuck wrong. Get your born ass right. Niggas better get their weight up, you little body bitch. Worry about a damn pay cut, you little body bitch. I ain't worried about none of these niggas, little body bitch. You damn scare rag, coward ass little body bitch. Had to fuck around, get my rank up, you little body bitch. And I'm pouring up, y'all young nigga, and I'ma take a sip. All these niggas want down hate, but tell them zip it lip. Cause you a dumb ass, scare rag boy, little body bitch. And I ain't worried about nothing, nigga, nah, I ain't worried about shit. I got more than one, so you know nigga don't reminisce. I spit flavors on these damn beats, niggas better catch a pitch. Never knew a goddamn man be scared to represent. Well, you a whole ass, dirt ass, little damn body ass nigga. Get body with it damn scritchy with your little body ass nigga. Nigga, I'm a true priest, true line nigga, true Zion ass nigga. And you a little boy, a little bitch ass, little body ass nigga. I got B-Ring, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, you leech ass, lil' fame. I won't war, not the same. Fuck wrong. Fuck wrong, nigga. Fuck wrong. I tell nigga, fuck wrong. You get your shit together, nigga. Fuck wrong. Work it. I'ma do this shit till I rock it, you little body bitch. I'ma ditch your ass like your pot, you little body bitch. And I'm smooth with it, y'all the Zaka, you little body bitch. And I switch nigga on night thought, little body bitch. And I'ma stay turning like the cars, you little body bitch. And I'm so cold like a bond, you little body bitch. And I'm a warrior like that bar, you little body bitch. And my aim like not a zop, you little body bitch. Need a princess part bar, little body bitch. Or anyone down the slide, you little body bitch. Yeah. I keep a couple straps in my ride, you little body bitch. Just in case anyone wanna die, cause I'm body bitch. I got be right, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay, we purple, we gay, you leech ass, lil' fame. I won't war, not the same. Fuck wrong. Fuck wrong.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one.
Chicago did it.
Yeah!
Something to eat.
I got some change for you. Go on real quick.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
Serious and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord to do his will, I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put your faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo.
Amazing Yahanna don't like no soldiers for the Spirit of the Lord. We don't like no soldiers. You understand me?
Like a saint, black, Hispanic, native, they hate y'all as the same. Hate Christ in their image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in a cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lie sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under Yahanna, ain't he murdered by them and got a hug from Yahanna. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priest bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves.
Aquí somos la Escuela Israelita del Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Hoy estamos aquí.
Lord Commander General Yahanna na ISUPK.
This is what Commander General Yahanna did. This is what he did.
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. I had to dig.
That's right.
You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
At Israel, July 3rd to July 6th, we're going to have the North Carolina cookout in Fayetteville.
This year, the cookout is going to be in Fayetteville at Seabrooks Park. Don't miss it, Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are all invited. All right? We're going to bring you on and show you all where slaves were brought to be sold. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And on Sunday, we're going to have a cookout. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, bring your family. Your kids, your wives, and uncle, grandma, everybody. We're going to have a fun time at Seabrook Park. Shalom.
To rise no more. I'm taking a look in the streets. It's real every day what I see. We constantly searching for peace. My people just want to be free. We tired of the cell blocks and the bullshit. That lying nigga in the...
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone West. Everyone West. Everyone West.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna presents the first ever Carolina Cult Classic Cookout. The Cult Classic is going down in Fayetteville, North Carolina, July 3rd through to the 6th. You need to book your hotels now. Here are some of the hotels available right now. Embassy Suites, 4760 Lake Valley Drive.
Call them now.
910-826-3600. Spring Hill Suites, 4750 Lake Valley Drive.
Telephone
910-860-3000. Go ahead, book your hotels right now. The Oppressors 4th of July celebration is right around the corner as well, and hotels will be filling up quickly. Here are some more hotels to consider. Candlewood Suites, 4108 Legend Avenue. Telephone number 910-868-0873. And Home 2 Suites, 4035 Sycamore Dairy. Telephone 910-223-1170. It's going down July 6th, ISUPK, Carolina. Call Classic Cookout. Shalom.
Top of my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Under Commanding General Yahanna.
At Israel, July 3rd to July 6th, we're going to have the North Carolina Cookout in Fayetteville. This year, the cookout is going to be in Fayetteville at Seabrooks Park. Don't miss it, Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are all invited. All right? We're going to bring you on and show you all where slaves were brought to be sold. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And on Sunday, we're going to have a cookout. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, bring your family. Your kids, your wives, and uncle, grandma, everybody. We're going to have a fun time at Seabrook Park. Shalom.
To rise no more. I'm taking a look in the streets. It's real every day what I see. We constantly searching for peace. My people just want to be free. We tired of the cell blocks and the bullshit. That lying nigga in the...
Yeah, the thumb.
Yeah, she's got the thumb.
Hey, what's going on? How you feeling?
Too wild.
So don't tell me eating a roti there, no.
when I see that when I see that tonight, I say, well, boy, a little while I need none. Yeah, I'm
I'm trying to tell you, it's in the air. It's
like
in the air, brother. It's in the air. You know what I mean? I was driving like a crackhead last week. I come out and smell test. I was like, hold on, you just cook it with the garlic first or whatever. I said, all right, I'll come back. Leave them. They ain't good. Yeah. I mean, World War III, man. World War III, just like the general, prophesied, man. Come on, Yahanna, how to sort of man in Israel, all over the spot, all over the place, doing the videos, doing the breakdowns, Lord Allah. He may or may not jump on tonight. But surely it's in full swing right now. And it's like watching a movie and you don't know who the hell to believe. You know what I mean? You don't know who's telling the truth and who's lying. You know what I mean? These bastards and them, they're just saying whatever and doing whatever and not giving a damn about anybody. You know what I mean? So I think we're fully loaded. I think we're fully loaded in terms of them stories. You know, wherever we all want to start, I'm with it. I'm with it for sure. This will be a rough time in America and the world if these people can continue how they're going.
We can start with the good, the bad, and the ugly. That sheriff in Florida,
that nigga boy.
Man, he sound like, I mean, he ain't trying to exercise.
Nah, that nigga, he don't give a damn about nothing. Yeah, man, he overdo it. That's what, number 5 or something, 6? 5, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. I think the video is number 6. Let me see. I ain't sure we could play the video though. Checking it out now. Hold up.
You know, it's so weird too. Like he could say, "We will kill you," right?
Right.
Now they're going to war with Iran just off a pretense. And the remember what they were saying with these Palestinians were saying something about they were saying, I think, from the river to the sea. They were saying some crap like that, right?
Yeah, Israel. Mm-hmm.
And Israel had a hard time to the point where they're trying to ban that statement. But he could come on national television and use these words, and it's just words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can see the hypocrisy. You know what I mean? And then you know what I mean, you have Negroes like Jamal Bryant, you know what I mean, just about getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Salaki, if I may. And Captain, I thought what you said is so heavy. There was a country song that was very popular about 4 or 5 years ago called "Try That in a Small Town."
Yeah.
And it went viral, and white people loved the song. And the song didn't blatantly speak about black people, meaning he wrote it on purpose to be a dog whistle so that those that know, they know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody tries to pull him up on what he's saying, he can have plausible deniability.
Mm-hmm.
But he wrote it in a way where it's talking about all you niggas, black people, Hispanics, you know, all that stuff y'all doing in the city, come to a small town and we'll show you how justice and law and order operates in a small town.
Yeah.
And the Lord is having the oppressor, you know, like the Lord is making our job just easy.
Yeah.
Because he's having it where the oppressor is telling you who he is. He's showing you who he is and how he really operates and the true spirit of this place. Like what he said when I seen this press conference and he said, "We will kill you." I said, well, good night. Finally, you telling the truth. You understand?
Yeah.
And finally, you telling the truth about real policing. There you go. This video went viral. It went absolute viral. And this is the same coward that the devil that sing that song. He was there at the concert in Las Vegas when they had that mass shooting. And he was the one on stage when the shooting started, and he ran. All that all that white boy tough guy, that whole tough guy persona. When the actual shooting started, he on camera. I did a video on it when it happened, and he took off running to the back. And so it's like, you oppressors, you're only tough with people that are weaker than you.
That's it.
People that are not a fair fight. You're not real tough. You're cowards. And this is the same thing with this police officer. You talking about we'll kill you. Well, how come y'all didn't run into the school to save those children in the mass shooting event? How come you didn't kill the school shooter?
That's right.
You police officers, you devils are punks. As my pops would say, you that word growing up, you called me a punk. You understand? Like, we was fighting. you devils are punks, man.
Right.
Punk. Because you don't really want to be a tough guy and be a hero.
That's it.
You are a villain because you pick fights with people. You are at war with those that be at peace with you, as the Bible says. Salaki.
Right. Salaki, if I may.
Good.
Yeah, you know, as we say, we have our old saying, a dog is only beat back and be bad in the own yard now. So we just seeing the definition of our oppressor, being in the yard and he just barking, because now, anytime, let me say, we use certain things, they will censor us for using words like that, especially on social media. So now we have to censor our language, but he can just come out just so and say, hey, I'll kill all of them. If all come, come or do anything to the demand that he do in the service. So like, yes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They pick and choose who they want to censor and who they think, has power over them. They always do that. They always pick and choose. And try to, as I say, bogart everybody. But this is truth. This is their kingdom. This is their kingdom, and they're running it how they see fit. You know what I mean? And really, there's nothing else to it. They're in charge. You know what I mean? You want to play the video first, or you want to read the story? Or you want to do it?
It's up to you, sir. I got the story right here.
All right, let's see if we get the 2 minutes of this here.
Come on.
For this one, hold on. I don't want to go too much into the. Hold up. I'm having a problem here. You all able to hear it?
No. You might have to come out touch and then bring it back up again. Treat me out, I have a tendency of doing stuff like that.
Man, they hate him, man.
Yeah.
I could read it in the meantime, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Khan, we will kill you. Florida. Florida sheriff.
Go ahead.
I think you just got us flagged just now.
Because you had to use that white man voice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do it the right way. We will kill you. Florida sheriff warns protesters not to attack deputies. The remarks drew criticism from the ACLU of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis said the state has drawn a clear line between protesting and rioting. A Florida sheriff warned immigration enforcement protesters that law enforcement would kill you graveyard dead if they become
graveyard dead. Like
Listen,
he didn't say mortuary dead,
right?
Hospital. He said, "I'm talking graveyard dead." Like that's a southern devil.
Yeah,
that there is a Republican, greasy pig. You ever hear them games they be playing in them fairs? Greasy pig and bobbing for apples. You know what greasy pig is?
Yep,
when they oil the pig down and you gotta catch the pig. He is that. He is bobbing for apples, greasy pig, southern devil. I mean, graveyard dead. Like boy, oh boy.
If I could, sir.
Please,
So like I said, and I'm just watching him. I'm just imagining this reversed. What black Christian community is gonna let a man talk like that?
Yeah.
They had to pull him up by his collar a long time. They were like, nope, right there, the black woman that jumped in front and said, no, you can't say that. He can say whatever the hell he want, and he got this full backing.
Right. And if I could, that ain't even lawful. You know, some of the they talk about, they used to say you're supposed to protest. You're supposed to go out and air your grievances to the America. That's the American way. I guess now, shoot, it ain't the America. They just changed the whole American way now. So now that's off the table now, because you might lose your life by doing it.
Right.
Well, he ain't say again shots for protesting. He's saying don't touch the deputies and no rioting. So, you know what I mean? You had to go back to we shall overcome. You know what I mean? You had to go back to that. But knowing the oppressor, he'll just stand in the way as you marching, and you march past him and brush his shoulder. He gonna flop bigger than LeBron and say he just hit me. He said he just hit me, and it's gonna be every sheriff from Carroll City to all the way to wherever coming for you. We will kill you. Now, okay, if I could right here, right? So he able to do that. I wonder if it is that they able, let's say that they put somebody down who protested, usually it's going to be the oppressor, right? Is Trump going to pay the victim like how he paid Ashley Babbitt?
Hell no.
Like we really need him in charge of the Capitol Police.
Yeah.
Like if he was in charge of the Capitol Police, January 6th, he could have saved January 6th that.
Right.
Like there's a time and a place for this type of aggression, but it's definitely not when you're kidnapping people and separating families. But you need that type of aggression when there's assault on the state building. That's like the holiest place in America for these oppressors. That Capitol building is like the holy of holies. I mean, who you think about all the presidents and senators and military generals that walk through them hallways? Like that's a holy place for them. And you had to retreat. You had, devils pissing and defecating on office desktops. Like you need him in charge of the Capitol Police Act. That's who you needed on January 6th.
Yeah.
Fair warning. There'll be no rioting in here. It was breaking windows, all of that shit. That's crazy, brother. That's really, really crazy right there.
Yeah. And no, you go ahead, Orion.
So like I said, Captain Shack, if I could, the funny thing about it is he would have been probably with the crowd on January 6th. With the crowd.
Yeah.
So like I said.
Wow.
I didn't think too far-fetched too, because Donald Trump he made a statement concerning was he Kim Jong whatever you call him, the president was North Korea, and saying he wish he could people could when he says something, people could just move like they move for him. Like he wants to be a dictator. You know what I mean? He wants to be able to, you know what I mean? And that's why these men are allowed to say whatever they want to say. These Caucasian are allowed to say whatever they want to say, because he said whatever he want to say and nobody's sticking for it. You know what I mean? And he bringing that spirit, you know what I mean, putting that spirit out there where, you know what I mean, white men are becoming real brave to say certain things. And I won't be shocked if the word nigger being thrown, going to start getting thrown, you know what I mean, around. You know what I mean, with these white people. I will not be shocked. You know what I mean? Because they will say it's freedom of speech. You know what I mean? You all want the right to protest. So I can't say the word. You understand? I will not be shocked.
Salaki, Cap.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Cap. Salaki.
No, I was just going to point out real quick the seal over his head. It says the Attorney General for the free state of Florida, the free state. So somebody on that podium is the state prosecutor. That's the state's attorney. So they're letting you know this shit is legal. This shit, you could come back and try to sue, but I already had the AG, the state's attorney general, with me on this one. I'm doing it under the state seal. You know what I mean? The sign on the podium, it says Florida is an anti-riot state. The free state of Florida. I mean, is anti-riot. Like, where was you for Rosewood? They rioted for Rosewood.
Right.
Ain't nobody stopped them for Rosewood.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody stopped them for doing that thing down there. I'm sure there's so much more stories like Rosewood down there in Florida, in different places in Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he letting you know this thing state sanctioned. These bullets coming from the state. You go in the graveyard when I'm done with you. You know what I mean? It's lucky because I could.
Kawaka. So now I just want to say, and what y'all both saying is so heavy. And again, Commander, I thank the Lord for raising up a man like Commander General Yahanna, because, okay, he has freed the UPK, and the truth has freed me from so many of the illusions and programming that where I grew up believing. And this may sound strange to those that are in the truth, but you got to understand how destroyed our people are. And a lot of black people, especially the tribe of Judah, we grew up believing this. I grew up believing that white people were more intelligent than us, that white people were more civilized and more orderly than us. And the UPK really gave a meaning to what I was starting to see as an adult, where it was like, I'm an adult and I'm seeing these beliefs is not lining up with what I'm seeing. You understand? As somebody that used to work in law enforcement and Esau's military, and I'm seeing, I had this perception that it was such on a high level and so honorable, and and all these different things, and I thought that's what I was being a part of. And then I got to see what it was really about, and I got to see, and it was what the UPK has always said, where the white man is a devil. You understand? He's the devil. And black people, you got to understand, these people are not better than you. They're not civilized. When they say law and order, that means whatever they say goes. It has nothing to do with actual law, actual order. Black people and Hispanics are the only ones that are actually trying to live their life according to real law and order. You understand?
That's it.
Why we fail is because we are too much like you. That's the only reason why we're not all the way model citizens, is because we have too much of your ways, Mr. White Man. But if we can get rid of your ways, you would see that we are the only people in America that abide by law and order, because I know what you police officers do behind closed doors. You get high on the best cocaine, you smoke meth, you shoot up heroin, you rape women, you understand? You beat your wives, you molest children. You white police officers are the worst. You're the worst people in society, because most of you are veterans. That veteran, that military pipeline to the police, law enforcement is. I know you. I was around you, and you talk to white people in the military. They are Esau, prime Esau. Like, if you want to see white men in their peak, go look at a white man in Esau military. He's free to be just everything wrong with society. And so when he talking about we'll kill you, like, this is their version of law and order, where it's just we do what we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
A whole degenerate system.
Yeah.
A whole degenerate system. That's what you just described there. Man, like goddamn, like you're supposed to, as much as Latinos keep Florida afloat. You know what I mean? What was Florida? Georgia is the peach. Florida is what, the oranges?
The orange. Come on.
Brother, who the hell is in there picking them oranges? Not his grandchildren.
Yeah.
Who is bringing all the culture and the lifestyle to Miami? You know what I mean? Like, as much as he, is being paid by how well we as the 12 tribes done kept Florida up and afloat for them, for their pleasure. Like, you really got some nerve, you know what I mean, to be saying some shit like that. Like, I want to know what was his thoughts on January 6th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's his name?
So like I'm trying to pull it up now. It says
I know he's a sheriff.
Sheriff Wayne Ivy.
Sheriff Wayne Ivy. Let me see his comments on January 6th. Because that there's, he just displaying his bloodthirst that he has. That's within him. That's part of him biologically.
Right.
You can't find nothing with him, on the 6th. So, any more on the article, Kazab?
Yeah, Kawakan, sir.
Go ahead.
Kawakan. It says select.
Oh, I could play some of the let me see if I could get it to play now.
Okay.
All right, hold up. Sheriff Wayne Ivy. Boy. Wayne making no joke with nobody. He said, break a window, you're gonna be, and I mean graveyard dead.
Mm-hmm.
That devil there, boy.
Mm.
Where we at?
If you resist lawful orders,
his voice alone.
Your family were to collect your remains at.
Wow.
We will kill you, graveyard deputies. We will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you, graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order. Not here.
Listen, listen, this is what I want. You TikTok guys, you short clip brothers who do all them good old short clips. You got to take his voice and you have to play it over January 6th footage. With if you spit on us, if you do this, we are going to do this to you. If we're not going to tolerate it. If you block it, you're getting ran over. We are for law and order. If you block an intersection, if you do this, you go into jail. And our big, beautiful dogs. You ought to play that while the January 6th footage going on. Because, nigga, where was you at?
Right.
Like, you could have saved them 5 dead cops from DC. I think 2 died from the violence, and I think 3 committed suicide after. Like, you hear that riot act he reading out? That is a riot act. He letting you know straight up and down. We ain't playing this. This has got to stop. Where was you on January 6th?
Right. Cap, he
Man,
sound like
go ahead, Salaki.
no, I didn't mean to cut you off. So I just want to say he sound like a slave master. Like as he's speaking,
Yeah.
I'm envisioning like he's standing on the porch of the big house that plantation that just burnt down. Like I'm envisioning him with an old top hat with a little wheat on the side of his mouth, and he got all the slaves in the yard, and like he giving the rules to all the new slaves about how he run his plantation. That's the vibe that I get as he's speaking. Like he's a slave master, an overseer.
You're right. You absolutely right, because he say in Broward County, right? Or Brevard County. It's Broward or Brevard?
Brevard.
Brevard County. He said that not in Brevard County, meaning that's like an old boys county.
Right.
He know the AG. He know, he know the bails, the bondsman. He know a few judges. And he know exactly how to write this shit up. So when you go to jail or go to court, you on the conveyor belt already. You think you're going in there for a bond hearing, nigga. You going in there to go back into the cell. They done lining you up. Like this thing, that's real crazy how he talking there.
Yeah, he talking reckless.
And he talking to us. That's who he talking to.
Yeah.
He's talking to us because all them Antifa and them disruptors and what they call them agitators. He ain't talking about them. He ain't talking about them at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That white man in Minnesota who put on the police uniform and went and murdered. Now you see why he dressed up like a cop.
Yeah.
He letting you know who the murderer really is. He ain't dressed up like a baker. He ain't dressed up like a pediatrician or something. That's crazy how he's talking there, man. That's you letting us know exactly what you plan to do to us without any impunity, without anything, any kind of repercussion. You already know in your spirit you able to do whatever. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Salaki. Somebody else gonna jump in? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and put some more.
Yeah, you can put some more. So. And they clap for that?
Do not allow rioting
they clap.
in the state of Florida. It's been 4 or 5 years now since the senator and her team passed the Anti-Rioting Act in Florida. As always, we are proactive. And if you want to throw things at vehicles, rocks, or other objects, you're going to do time. If you want to light things on fire and put people in harm's way, you're going to do time. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Well, they got it made up.
Got it.
Yeah.
We will be notifying your family where to collect your remains.
Listen, if I could I get Genesis 4? Give me Genesis. Is it Genesis 4 or Genesis 2? Give me Genesis. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you exactly where.
4 and 12, sir.
Not the vagabond. Before, give me I've wounded a man to my hurt.
Okay.
I'm not gonna play. This has got to stop. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tight because we are going to run you down and put you in jail.
23.
If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County.
Count.
4:23.
Count. In the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 23. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt.
Right? Lamech is one of Cain's sons. I remember Cain, of course, was the first recorded murderer in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He was the first recorded unaliver in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he gone to his wife after he done did the deed and telling her, I have slain a young man to my hurt. Go ahead. Meaning to my hurt, meaning I'm going to be punished for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be punished for this thing here because this is murder. It's murder. You get the point? Hold on, Officer Nawani Allah. Let me see what he's saying here. The sheriff of Broward County, which is a brother, has his own video totally against this, and he had a whole different approach. And that's why I was asking, was it Brevard or Broward? Because I'm familiar with that Broward County. A lot of Israelites live down there. So he's saying that they because of Florida, that bill they passed, whatever that anti-riot bill, they'll allow you to protest, but you can't tear shit up. So he's saying the brother who's the sheriff in Broward County, he told them, don't tear the place up, but he ain't say this shit. But this devil here, oh boy, murder on my mind, boy. I mean, murder on my mind, boy. Sheriff YNW Melly, boy.
Right.
That's him. Yeah, go ahead.
And when you watch the lineup, I team now. He have a full lineup, so he back in 100 and Becky just squeezing right in the midst there. So
man.
Again, and just like we read in here, he wives, because now look the wife, as we say, Becky right in the middle.
See right there. You're right. Yeah. You're right. His whole death squad out. So his whole team right there. So his back is strong. Like, who gonna say something?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, read.
Count. Verse 24. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold.
Right. So he tell his wife, listen, man, I killed a man to my wounding, a young man to my hurt. Meaning I'm gonna pay for this. Like I hurt him, but it's only gonna hurt me because it's murder. And then he remember, hold on, I'm the son of Cain. And if Cain gonna be avenged sevenfold, surely Lamech 70 times 7. So you know what? I'll just kill whoever the hell I want. I'll just take a life of whoever the hell I want with no repercussions, with no kind of, no kind of filter. I'll just talk about it plain. I'll let you know what I'm going to do. Like that's the spirit of Esau. That spirit of Cain that Cain had is the same spirit of Esau back in the earth. Like Esau is Cain back in the earth. Like Cain and Abel is Esau and Jacob. It's the same dynamic, the same whole, everything about them is the same. And he just blatantly says out there. And of course, he doing this in Trump's first year to try to get recognized by their king. He want the king to see the report and recognize him and give him a position in that little puppet government he running. That's what he really want. He hoping to get a call up, like you get a call up to the national team or something. You get combined. You get called up for Olympics. You playing basketball for Bulls or something. You want to get called up for the Olympic team. That's what he's doing there. He's pitching a job interview. You know what I mean? I'm talking graveyard dead. Him, that the one they call the border czar. I forget his name, but they call him the border czar. Is a bald head devil. They call him the border czar.
Like Tom Holman. Tom Holman, sir.
Tom Holman, that's him. Hold on. Tom, spell his last name.
Homan.
Homan.
Kawakan.
Okay. Yeah, this is him, boy. They call him the border czar. Hold on, I'm trying to get a good picture of him for you.
He looked like the devil on Breaking Bad, the
cop. You sure right. He looked like the cop who didn't have a clue.
Right.
You know what I mean? He looked just like that. Hold up. Let me see. I'll get a good picture of him here. Brother, this dude here, he is an old school racist.
Yeah.
Old school racist. I mean, like he's that type. He come from that ilk.
Yeah.
He come from that type. The one who was just talking, that sheriff right there. They come from that school. They come from that school. They would have the phone numbers of all them white militias from Ohio and from Idaho. And he'll say, well, yeah, I'm running a skeleton crew on this side of the wall. But send some of your boys down there, some of them young, hungry ones. Let them go do whatever. Don't worry, I'll clean it up. Like, that's who these are.
And Salakika,
go ahead.
Was this the dude who held what's his name? The mayor of New York. The brother. What's his name? The bowlehead brother.
Brown? Is this Brown his name?
Adams.
Yeah, Adams.
Yeah.
Was he the one saying on next to Adams saying he gonna be a good boy?
Was it him? I know the interview you're talking about. Where there was on Good Morning America or something.
Yeah, it looked like him.
Hold on, let me see if we could find the video. It's good we could play the video. I saw him recently where what's her name? AOC? Alexander Cortez. She was talking about how evil they are on the border and how the Democrats gonna be coming for you and blah blah blah. CNN put the mic on him. So how do you want to respond? So he's like, first of all, I ain't scared of you. What the hell you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You can't do anything. I ain't gonna scare you. You can't intimidate me. You can't do nothing to me. I ain't scared of you. Like, he talked like it was a gangster shit out. Right? What's his name? Holman?
Yeah, Tom Holman.
Tom Holman. And what's he, mayor of New York?
Anthony Adams, I believe.
Mayor of New York. Let me see if that's him. It might be. Yep, that's him.
It looked like him.
No, it's him.
It's him.
It's definitely him, Mark.
Because when you say Slave Master, he sung like that thing on next album. You understand? He sung like, you know what I mean, like he that type of old school Eric Adams, yeah.
Yeah, Eric Adams.
Yeah, it's definitely him.
GQ.
Hold up, let me see. Let me see if I can get it.
Yep. Yeah.
On them, I saw the cop in him, and he really does want to do the right thing because he is a cop. He's a lifelong cop, and so he wants to help take public safety threats off the streets in New York, make New York safer. He also wants to help find these missing children. We got 300,000 missing children. That many of them are here in this city. We know that. We got to find them, and he's, we'll be working with his intelligence division, his officers, to save these children because many of these children are in forced sex trafficking, many are in forced labor. We need to save them, and I think everybody can agree to that. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on.
Yeah, people want to hijack this narrative and turn it into a political narrative where we're saying we need to have public safety. I requested the meeting. I reached out to his team and said, we want to sit down. This has been an issue I was talking about before the election, spring of 2022. You look at these quotes over and over again. We need to go after these dangerous people in our street. And now I have someone that understands that narrative, and we are fighting together to get it done.
Yo, the only thing
I've called the mayor out many times for not stepping up when it comes to public safety threats. But I tell you, when I sat down with him, I saw.
Yeah, I said the only thing missing between him and on Eric Adams is a collar and a chain. That's his handler. You know what I mean?
Because this was right after all them charges, right?
Yeah, but there's another interview where they sat down and was talking about the charges when the charges was dropped. I forget what news station he was talking to, and the dude was to the right of Adam, and was, you know what I mean, and the dude, you know what I mean, was like, nah, he gonna behave, you know what I mean, he gonna do the right thing, you know what I mean, that type, you know what I mean, that type of movement. And I was like, watch this man. This man just, you know what I mean, sold his soul. You know what I mean? They don't have him. You know what I mean? And that's how the Esau is. And that's why you in here, you better come in here and, you know what I mean, and get right. Become somebody brand new. You understand? So now nobody can hold nothing over your head. Nobody can blackmail you. Nobody can bribe you into doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like you ought to come in here and really change. And you know what I mean, Commander Jerry Yahanna done build, you know what I mean, a place where you could come in here and become somebody brand new, brand new. You know how to be like Eric Adams and them with these, you know what I mean, with these Caucasian males, you know what I mean, basically, you know what I mean, walking him. Like he have a handler now. You know what I mean? Like what the hell is that? Like I had a report to your supervisor, plus you have your master who you had a report to now? Nah. No. You ain't get man that. Salakia. I yield.
Salakia too, if I may.
Yeah,
and Kawakan, sir, and Captain, I thought what you said is so heavy. I don't. I'm looking on the list here, sir. I don't think we have a story about it, but okay, that whole thing where somebody having something over your head and having a handler, it's major news right now in the conservative Republican community how Donald Trump is abandoning his voter base.
Yes,
and how Tucker Carlson is speaking against him. What the broad is like a cave woman. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's speaking against Trump.
Big back, bleach blonde.
Yes,
big back.
the badly built beach blonde. Yeah, her. She's speaking against Trump. He has a couple of people that are part of his voter base that have these high platforms that are speaking against him because they're saying that the things that he said to get voted in by that base, he's going against that by going to war with Iran. But a lot of people are saying Israel Israel has him in their pocket. And
yes,
again, all that is them Israelis, they got them tapes, them Epstein files on Donald Trump, because
I'm right.
They got them federal freak off tapes. That's what that is.
And Caps,
they're gonna release the Stormy tapes.
Right.
And Salakia, I really feel that's the reason why he ain't go to jail. Because you know what I mean, you can't have 34 charges and you still walk into the presidency. Somebody hire back. Somebody saying, you know what I mean, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna do this, that, the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't no way you could have 34 charges on you and you know what I mean, you walk in and you know what I mean, you untouchable. Nah.
You're right.
That's my opinion. You know what I mean?
No, it makes sense because remember when he was running for the election, he was anti-war. He was like, I'm gonna stop all the war. I'm gonna bring our troops home. We in too many wars. We in too many wars right now, and the war. We need too many wars, and goddamn, Trumpy.
Yeah.
Listen, was it last week or this week? Last week, right? Oh no, this week. They say the jurors, get to watch all Diddy tapes. And
Wow.
They say the expression on the jurors' face was like mind-boggling. They said nobody else in the courtroom get to see the tape, just the jurors, and they put the headphones on and give them each a tablet. It just might be the season. This might be that season. Everybody see Diddy? Now they're gonna see Donald.
Yeah,
I mean, Donald gonna end up on the platform. He gonna be on Instagram. Yeah, I mean.
Damn.
So I found this one here with him with what's the girl name? AOC, the response to AOC. Right, this was CNN I think a month or two ago. During of course the Trump presidency. And Jake Tapper asking him up to to listen to AOC and hear what he had to say.
If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, on Representative, or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem.
What's your response, Mr. Homan?
First of all, you can't intimidate me. Come on, give me a break. I was enforcing him. I was wearing a green uniform, Border Patrol agent, for 5 years before she was even born. I had more than 3 decades enforcing immigration law before she became a member of Congress. I worked for 6 presidents. I've seen policies. I've seen hundreds of policies. Some worked, some didn't. But you can't deny the success of the Trump administration when it comes to border security. Again, the most
of course he going into the whole thing with the Trump thing, but he dismissed her like in the way like a schoolgirl, like this was just some little child that came up to talk to a grown man. Like, give me a break. You can't intimidate me. What the hell is wrong with you? And all that energy about laying a finger on this and laying a finger on that. Them Democrats ain't saying nothing about them Issachar right senators they just arrested. The one last week in California, and then the one in New York. One in New York just yesterday or something. Arrested one of them speakings. The one last week in California, he came in there. They arrested him. They treat him like he was a full-out intruder. They treat him like he came in there to throw paint. You know, them protesters come in some news conference and throw paint or something. They treat him as an older brother too, man. Slam him to the floor. Treat him like he was just an intruder. Where's the Democrats? Where's the AOC and all of them raising hell?
Yeah.
They ain't saying nothing. They ain't saying a damn thing.
I didn't realize he ain't saying nothing about he ain't breaking no law. There's one thing with the oppressor. He'll never own up to, breaking no law. Nothing like that, because laws, to them, it could change. It could bend. You know what I mean? Like they could bend that law, just like, what Donald Trump doing. Like he going in there and pulling up laws from back then to try and make these people illegal. You know what I mean? To try and make it in a way where they could, start rounding up these people and kick it. I shouldn't say these people, but these Hispanics, these Issacharites, and putting them out of the country. You know what I mean? Like he digging up laws where, when the country was at war. You understand? To make the country look like it's at war with the Mexicans. When the Mexicans ain't fighting wars in the Middle East, the Mexicans ain't fighting war in Ukraine. They ain't doing none of that. Right. Instead, they're keeping your prices of your vegetables and your fruits down. You know what I mean? They're making sure that your trash get picked up, making sure you all have your houses. All the house prices are going up. What the APR on a house was close to 7%. And you tell me it had no houses, maybe it had no workers, maybe kicking out the workers, the Hispanics and them.
That's
right.
Throw
up a house in no time. Maybe you creating a problem in this place. You know what I mean? So that no, we could fight the Mexicans while you try to go across in the Middle East and try to gobble it up. You know what I mean? You think you have a good plan. Well, the Lord have a better plan for you.
Yeah.
That's right.
You have a better plan for you. You know what I mean? You have a better plan. It's called the Middle East. Go across there now.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Cap, I don't know if you remember that brother that I told you about. I would be on TikTok live with him. He married to a white woman, Esau military. He just got deployed. I was wondering why I ain't heard from him or seen him live or anything. And he left a comment on one of my videos 2 days ago. And I'm like, man, where you been? What's up? He was like, I was joking. I was like, man, I thought they didn't deployed you.
Oh, sure.
And he was like, he's I am deployed. And I was like, damn. And so like it's gearing up. They sending the soldiers over there. And I remember he was talking about it because he was in the Marines first. And then he got out, he did his time, but then he re-enlisted in the Army. And so he was anticipating, he's in the National Guard, he part-time. And so I remember we was talking about a couple times on this live that he doesn't really anticipate in getting deployed. I remember I was saying it, I was being alive. I was like, man, you better get out. That. World War III is coming. I was like, they're gonna ship you over there. And he was like, nah.
I remember that.
Yep, concert. And sure enough, like the priests and prophets and the UPK have been trying to tell you, he got shipped out over there, and to his surprise, to his dismay. And so if any of you are in Esau's military, you better get in contact with the UPK and get some counsel on how to navigate that properly. You understand? Because make no mistake about it, World War III is going to happen. It's already here. It's here. They're shipping out soldiers and sailors already.
Listen, it might be too late, you know. Like, if you're coming down to the end of your term, you get some counsel to not re-enlist.
Right.
But if you don't sign that contract there, like you, most I could tell you is pray that plane go down like India and jump out before it hit the floor. Yeah, and jump out and run for the hills, because it's you know, now you part of the Lord's plan. Like you know, me and Nathan always talk from years ago. We always say it, like the way how this thing designed with this oppressor. By the time you realize what's going on, it's too late.
Yeah.
Like that's why the Lord sent you prophets. By the time you imagine you smelling food cooking, and you thinking, oh, let me see what somebody done doing. They already made the food. The food is already making. It's, by the time you realize just what the hell going on, it's too late for you, man. It's too late. And I remember you talking to him and telling him, and he was like, you know, he was a little reluctant, and he's a patriot and this and that.
Yep.
Boy, damn! I thought Trump was bringing the troops home.
Exactly, and that's what he was saying too. That was one of his talking points. He was like, no, because you know Donald Trump, you know, he got the Trump hat on in his lives and stuff like that. He was like, no, because Trump, he's bringing us home. He's, you know, like this brother got faith in the shadow of Egypt. You know, it's like you get to see the scriptures come to life. Because I'm talking, you know, I joke, I keep it light with him, but I'm telling him the truth. I'm like, brother, I was like, they going to war, nigga. I'm like, it's happening. He was like, no, Trump. I was like, nigga, Trump is sending y'all to war. I'm telling you. And I'm like,
I know what gonna make him want to come back. I know exactly what gonna make him want to come back. He gonna call home and she ain't gonna pick up one day.
Oh, forget about it. That white woman,
that's gonna be enough. Oh Lord, and she white too. Good night,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a problem, man. Them Iranians gonna have hell to pay. He gonna run out there. Iran they're gonna be Iran from him. Iran from him over a phone call.
Right.
Nah, it's rough, man. It's going to be a rough situation.
Yeah,
it's going to be a rough situation. I watched that whole army parade thing, and you know the commentators and everybody else who they bring in to talk, and they had so many retired generals and staff sergeants who come in from Hawaii. And they in the crowd in civilian clothes, but they had a beret on and shit. And the way how they're talking is damn near like we need more of this to, you know, for the youngsters to see it and develop pride. And I'm just hearing recruited. Like as they're talking, you could just tell, okay, this is a recruiting thing. It was nowhere close to what I think people was expecting.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't on the level of Russia and China and North Korea, them parades. You know what I mean? But you could tell this thing here was just, you know, to try to recruit people into it. They show you all the vehicles, brother. They fly all the drones over. And you know DC's a no fly. They ground all the planes in DCA in Reagan Airport for about 3 hours. They flew all the drones over Constitution Avenue. Then they flew some jets over, some C-130s. And then they come through with the dogs, and I ain't talking about the canines. I'm talking about the robot dogs, bro. They don't come through with the robot dogs, and the dude. There's a dude controlling the dog, and then there's a whole crew. And then they start to talk about how the dogs, how they could coordinate with each other, and they could send them out in a pack, and just, you know, program the instructions. And brother, if you 17 and you've been playing Call of Duty or you know, whatever else since 9, and you ain't really know where to go, that shit is going to get you signed up. And that's what they want. They want them young bodies. That's what they want.
You're right. With all the truth, you're right, Cap. They definitely going to try.
Barack.
Hey, yo, what's good? Shabrak a thumb to what up? I ain't mean to cut in.
No sweat, sir.
I saw that interview with Mayor Adams where he said he's gonna be a good boy. Where that devil said it. And nobody reacted, nobody said nothing. A few people put the video out, everybody else just let it slide to a certain degree.
Right.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they for sure they're in the full they're in the full element now, so and it's falling apart with them, and it seems like it makes them get more bold and more racist about every damn thing.
Yeah. And they finding out that they're not that well in the majority anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? His approval rating is dropping. Many people are saying that they did not vote for this.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, with the Iran war, they're doubly worried now. They're worried now because, of course, the Iran war means problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could mean very big problems for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of military bases around the world that are in reach. And unless they got that power they say they have, they could run into a big problem.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
Concept.
Salakis, if I may.
Y'all get down, please.
Yeah.
Start taking him a shot. Got it.
Yes. Salakis, the little clip that Officer Kazak did now with that military parade where he show off, the different, countries and their military. And when you see, the military, how weak it is, and it falling apart. Because now when you look at the rest of countries and their military, how everything was precise, it's like for me down in the Caribbean and you're watching that, they say all how great America is, and you look at the rest of them, it's like, wait, like it's only old people in America military. When you watch at the standard at all the rest and how precise and sharp they look, it's like nah, this is something that they're trying to hide. So it's like I just want to say that.
Yeah. Come on, if I may, sir. It just to piggyback what Officer Sawab said, and me and Captain Nakar was talking about this not too long ago. Because of Hollywood, a lot of people have this perception. And in the video Officer Sawab is talking about is almost at 1 million views right now, and it's a lot of people in the comments, talking about, well, that was the military. It was a silent protest, and they were doing that on purpose. Like, a lot of people can't come to terms with the fact that maybe the military is just not as organized. The white man's military is not as organized and unified as you have been thought to believe. And I think Hollywood has done such an excellent job in programming a lot of people to believe that America is like, things are just, they so tight and everything runs smooth. And as somebody that was in Esau's military, I told Captain Nakar, a lot of this stuff, man, was winging it. I'm straight up and down. Like, a lot of it, they told me as an intelligence analyst, you really don't have to know what you're talking about sometimes. Sometimes you just be good at bullshitting. And I remember they told me that. I'm like, hold on, we dealing with, we making decisions on who live and die. and they told me, they said, as long as you can be good at bullshitting, you can make it fly. So to be inside, it's an illusion that a lot of people have about Esau's supremacy and how tough they are. A lot of them cats is cowards, and a lot of them wouldn't die for the person right next to them. Like, there's no brotherhood in there. There's no unity. It's no order. Like, there's more order than in here in the UPK. There is way more order and discipline and structure. And I was telling Captain Nakar that I was like, I'm sure any brother in Esau military can tell you the same thing. I've seen it for myself. There's no order in there the way people think it is. And so I think that was the Lord showing, and people to get a glimpse of, you better take your trust out this damn place because they are not what you think they are.
Wow. That's heavy. Give it up for that. That was heavy. So they spent a lot. Hello, y'all there? They spent a lot of time pushing the witchcraft about how great America is. You watch them movies like Top Gun, Rambo, and all those movies, you know what I'm saying? They have an overinflated mindset about what the military is. And I think that it translates to every white man in America, which is why he always looks for blacks and Latinos to put his hands on and harm. We the easy target for him. It's easy to target us because they've been destroying us for so many years. It's easy to act like we so out of control and that they got to be tough. But like you brought out, they ain't going to do that for the January 6th rioters. And let me tell you something. They ain't going to do nothing for them protesters out there either because most of them protesters are white. So they're not going to do nothing. That message that piece of garbage gave out, that was a message for black people. That was a message for us that this what we're going to do to you. We're going to do this to you. If you touch a police officer, we're going to kill you. They ain't going to kill white people like that. They never did. You know what I mean? They ain't never killed white people like that. And just like you brought out also about this cat killed two state senators. I mean, one state senator and his wife, and it was at the house of the second state senator and wife. And they still didn't shoot him on sight.
Right.
He still got, listen, they were so patient. He still went in the house and killed the two people and ran out the back door, and they still didn't get him. And when they found him in the woods later on, I mean, they arrested him he didn't even have a little mud on him. This cat was on the run in the woods. He came out of there, brother, like he just took a subway ride downtown. His hair wasn't even disheveled. He was in that. They arrested him like nothing never happened.
Right.
But if he was black, of course, they would have blasted him. As soon as they saw him on that infrared light, they'd have been blasting him in the dark and lied about what happened when they got him. Meanwhile, this cat had plenty of guns and everything. There you go. Look at it. Hair done, jacket, everything intact. This is after killing two state senators and killing a state senator and her husband, and then wounded another state senator and his wife.
Yeah.
And he and broke out the back door. Mass tactical weapons. Found the weapons in his car before they found him.
Right.
And he's supposed to be super armed and dangerous when they come to get in. Meanwhile, not a scratch on his head. Not a scratch. He looked like he just came back from the VFR meeting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference between us and them. And the problem is, while, I understand protesting, it's American right, blah, blah, blah. But protesting doesn't change the world. They gave us that illusion in the 60s. They made us believe that when you protest, it's going to turn out like Martin Luther King. When you protest, it's going to turn out. When the protests are going on, they've already decided what they're going to do. In many cases, they create the reason for the protest and fill the protest with agents. You ain't going to tell me that many people are on the street and there's no undercover cops and agents among the crowd? Please. You know what I mean? So they already decided whether they're going to pass a law, change something, or make some concession. It's almost like a venting hour for bad kids. Kids acting up, you got to send them outside for an hour or two. Let them scream and yell for a little while. When they come back, we'll give them all peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They'll be fine. That's exactly what they do to us with protesting. We could have done way, way more with many of these things than we did by protesting. You know what I mean? Like that same devil talking about we'll kill you. You wouldn't kill anybody if they bankrupt your whole city.
That's right.
If they divest everybody from spending money in your town until the town got rid of you. You on the first bus out of that damn town because the rest of them politicians ain't your friend. And the minute the heat get too hot around them, they gonna kick you off the boat. That's the kind of things that need to happen for them. And this is what's so evil about it. It's exactly what Martin Luther King did. It's what the Pullman porters did. The Pullman porters did exactly that. They did these things, and guess what? They got results when they did these things. When they boycotted those buses before they hijacked the movement with Martin Luther King, before they hijacked the movement with Martin Luther King, and they boycotted on them buses, brother, Esau went crazy. He first started just trying to force them on the bus. When they was protesting, he would come up to them and say, "Get on the bus." They would carpool. And he would come up and say, get out that car, get on the bus. They was going crazy because their wives start saying, what the hell are you doing to these nannies? You know what I mean? Stop doing whatever they know the beast that their husband is. So they said, stop doing that to these nannies. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Betty Ann is my nanny, been my nanny 10 years. Leave her alone. And they went into a panic and tried to get the nannies to get on the bus. When that didn't work and the bus company looked like he was losing money, brother, they capitulated quick. They said you can sit anywhere you want on the bus. Well, they came out and said after that. So that's the things that need to happen. And here's what's so good about it and is never used. And we're taught to never use it. Here's what's so good about it. All those brothers that rode them sisters to those jobs, they got gas money that they didn't have before.
Yes, sir. Right.
They built relationships with brothers and sisters that they didn't have before. They networked with one another like they didn't have before. They began to appreciate each other like they never had before. They realized how much they needed each other that they didn't have before. You understand? And because of it, guess what? We became stronger while they became weaker. And they saw that and they said, oh, no, we can't do this. Them Pullman workers is kicking our behind. Let's turn around and let's send in the secret weapon, a Christian preacher.
Yeah. Right.
Uncle Tom stepping, fetching, money grubbing, white girl sex having, homo. Let's bring him on in and we'll prop him up and get the movement in the other direction. That's when the protest started. The Pullman workers wasn't protesting on the street. They would protest in front of certain businesses. And those businesses would get the light shined on them, and then those businesses would have to back up off them. When George Floyd got killed, nobody said nothing to the ones in the store.
Right.
Nobody said nothing to them for not testifying, for not stepping up, for none of that stuff. You know what I mean? They didn't care about that. You understand? So they went on, business went on for them. They went and pretended like they loved the community. Meanwhile, that's Arab money.
Right.
When what's his name, Brown, the young brother Brown got killed out there in what's his name?
Michael Brown.
Michael Brown. When Michael Brown got killed, the tape came out that Michael Brown was selling drugs for that Arab store. Why we didn't hear protests about that? Why we didn't hear that store was replaced by a black-owned store?
Right.
They had a big sign out front. We dedicate ourselves to not selling drugs to our own people.
That's right.
Why that would have had much more effect? But Esau is smart. He's not a dummy. We are treated like animals in this place and carried out like animals. And because we do these things, then he gets to use that. You don't have to ever touch a cop. There ain't no real reason to touch no cop unless he's trying to harm you. That's different. Which in that case, you are within the law to try and save your life. You don't have to die. We watched the tape there. I'm sure y'all might have seen it. They had a tape today where the cops was shooting this brother in front of his wife and 5 kids. You know what I mean? I believe it was rubber bullets, but I'm not sure. Shot him twice because they just lost. I mean, his hands is up at the time they shoot him. They telling him for a while. And while they telling him, he giving his wife his cell phone, he talking to her, telling her go in and all that. And they just get impatient and fire on him. The kid's right next to him. Them bullets could have went past him and hit one of the babies, the last baby, to get out of the way into cover. Like a rotten bastard. They didn't even care that he had them kids. Just everything with this beast when it comes to us is comply, comply, comply. Have no thought for yourself. Have no safety for yourself. Have no care for the people around you. Nothing. Just when massa talk, shut up and follow the order immediately. That's the goddamn spirit on this animal, man. And that's why he got no tolerance when he go to war with these other countries. They said Trump's patience is running out with Iran. It's been 5 days.
Right.
It's been 5 days. And all of a sudden, he got so much impatience to running out with Iran when really that impatience is because them bombs is blowing the hell up out of Israel.
Right.
That's why he impatient. That's why he got to send over there 2 carrier groups to get ready to fire on them and drop bombs on them, because otherwise they would have destroyed that place. And so they got no kinds of patience when it comes to us. They want you to be a robot and apply, or we kill you. Meanwhile, a white man shot up 2 state senators and their spouses. White people. And runs off into the woods, brother. And the manhunt starts, and he comes home clean as a whistle. But you don't put your hands up fast enough. They 2 blocks or a block away.
Right.
You don't put your damn hands up immediately when he say so. That's cause to shoot you. Remember that brother that had autism? He was his caretaker, and he brought him out the house, and the cops once again, some white person called and told the cops, look, man, there's a nigger over here, doing something, blah, blah, blah. They show up. Soon as they get out the goddamn car, put your hands up, put your hands up. He's trying to sit the autistic man down on the ground for his own safety. He don't want to put his hands up and let him go. This is a severely autistic person. Brother, he got to the man's knees, and these bastards start firing on him already.
Yeah.
The same with the young brother, the little 8-year-old brother that got out the car with a toy gun.
Tamir Rice.
Tamir Rice. As soon as the man got out the car, the cop car barely stopped. I mean, it barely came to a stop. He was already out the car. He had shot the boy before you could even blink your eye.
Yeah.
So that's them. They are murderous when it comes to us. And that's why protesting is not our best avenue. You know what I mean? That's the one Esau wants us to do. He see us rising up and acting up and all that. He want us to all go out there and start yelling. Turn over a few garbage cans. Set a few police cars on fire. That just helps build a budget. You know what I mean? They can go into the city council and say, look, man, if y'all don't give us the money, people gonna overrun the police force. And they turn around and give them. That's why all them police forces have tanks now. They call them armored vehicles and all that. But them little SWAT vehicles, them armor-plated vehicles, those are urban tanks. And on top of the roof of them, if you notice, when you load those scenes, they have microwave technology, man. Microwave technology, which means they shoot a beam at you and they cook you like a microwave or cook a piece of chicken.
Right.
It's the technology they gave these people to do on the very citizens. That's not for white people. That is not for white people. You can best believe they want that on us. And what do they need that for? What happened to the old tradition of pulling out water hoses? Water hoses always worked without hurting anybody. But now you got microwave technology. Why? Because you want to slaughter blacks and Latinos. Because that's the one that makes you feel good. You get to kill us and act like we were so dangerous. Ooh-wee. You get to act like we were so dangerous. But yet you get to feel like Rambo. Like they got to feel like Rambo every day.
Yeah.
Every day they got to wake up, and by the end of the day, they got to feel like the Top Gun, like Tom Cruise. Every day. Every day. And 2 or 3 days go by and they don't feel like that. Oh, they looking for somebody.
Yeah.
They looking for somebody black so they can say, whoa, we had to do it, man. We didn't want to do it, but we had to do it, man. The cat was dangerous. I told him, take his hands out of his pockets. How much time you give him? I only gave him a second. That's them. But thanks be to the Lord. Thanks be to the Father. There is a God in heaven of the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. And they get to meet their maker. And they're not going to like meeting him. They get to meet that big black face. You get to imagine that. You've been killing and slaughtering and abusing black people all over the earth. And then you get to meet Jesus. And he is black. Damn, you in a jam. See, those are tanks. They don't tell you that, but those are tanks. Can you slide the picture down some so we can see the top? That's a battering ram and a see that top? See that thing? Oh, is it on the top, that black thing?
No, I think that's the one for the 50 cal. I was looking for the one with the thing. I'm still looking for it.
And what do you need a 50 caliber rifle for in an urban setting?
Right.
Like, what do you need that for? You understand? And maybe they do need it because maybe they're going to cause something that makes blacks and Latinos have to defend themselves so they can kill us.
Yeah.
That man right there, brother, that man right there, okay, is a beast.
That's
and
right,
what he
sir.
has done to us for so long is completely unacceptable. And it is why the judgment seat is ours. So there's many other things we could have done. We'd own our own bus company right now.
That's right.
So we don't. And we under the illusion that you need them, which is what they want. They want you to need them so that the majority of us can comply and so that we don't say anything when they kill a few of us. Because we think we need them so bad that you don't want to jeopardize your job or your income or your safety, or you don't want to put it out there that, you care for this black person because it might make him uncomfortable.
Right.
That's the wrong spirit we in. And that's why it continues. You know what I mean? This animal only understands one thing, and that's pressure. He understands pressure. You don't have to take up arms to go against him unless he takes up arms against you. But you can create enough pressure to back him up off you. And as well, we can create enough pressure among us to stop us from doing the things that give him the okay to harm us.
Right.
There's tons of stuff we could do in cleaning up ourselves. We need absolute investment in our spirit.
Right.
Absolute care of our spirit. And then these pieces of garbage will never be able to stand on their feet. What Adams did, that they quietly doing now, the mayor of New York, he opened up all the prisons. Now, you know how many Latinos are in New York. Rikers Island alone holds about 3,800 prisoners. Many of them are Latinos. He opened up the door for them to come in there and take those Latinos out of jail and arrest them under immigration laws and get them deported.
It's crazy.
Or sent into camps or God knows what, you understand, he's going to do with them. And they got Adams because long before they even took over, they was already spying on him and got him on some type of charges.
Yep.
And instead of him folding, will show you the mayors of these cities don't care about the citizens. He's supposed to say, look, man, I'm going to take the charge, but I'm not opening the door to you. And I'm going to endorse this brother over here because he's not going to open the door for you either.
Right.
Like, that's what he should have did. You know what I mean? And let them brothers do their time and get the hell up out of there. But he couldn't do that. You know what I mean? He couldn't do that. And that's why you need prophets of God. You need men of God that really, truly stand up for this work and truly stand up with their heart of hearts on all that our people are suffering. Like, now's the time to be a man. You're going to be a man about this thing now. Because they don't want to fight Iran.
Nope.
They don't want to fight Iran. They want to fight Mexicans.
That's right.
That's
They
it.
don't want to fight nobody with no hypersonic missile.
Right.
Praying to a rock 5 times a day. Coming out of a hole in the desert. They don't want none of that. Why they packed up their bungee cord, man, and took their ass on home out of Afghanistan.
That's
They
right.
got tired of breathing in all that goddamn sand and dust.
Right.
For 20 goddamn years. But what? Wasn't no glory in it.
That's right.
Because he wasn't no nigga to beat up on CNN.
That's it.
Wasn't no nigga to blast on CNN and act like you was the superhero. So the rest of white people can see you like, woo, you had to kill him. Wasn't none of that. You went over there, man, them Arabs said nothing. But ping, 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 ping. That's what you heard with them.
Right.
One soldier said, one sniper said, the thing that he hated about Afghanistan is you almost never saw anybody. It was like you was in the desert all by yourself till a firefight broke out, and when the firefight was over, they was gone. Like they was masters at guerrilla warfare, to where the soldiers almost never saw Never got up close with them. Never was able to run into a village and take it over. None of that. So all they did was sit out in that desert waiting for the enemy until he started. Excuse me. Unless they spotted him by a sniper. It was the most nerve-wracking deployment they had. Because why? Because no chance to bust no black person's head open.
Right. Right.
So, go ahead.
That's right, General.
And General also too, so also what you're talking about with you remember with Michael Brown when the video came out, the first story was that he robbed the store.
Yes.
They say he was strong arm robbery, and then they went back and see how the Arab was, the Arab robbed him, didn't want to pay him for some work he done did.
Selling drugs.
Selling the drugs. And then the other brother.
Go ahead, Murak. Go ahead, Mashak Salaki.
No, go ahead. So I'll show you it after. I'll come up with the
okay, real quick. Listen, let me tell y'all, you hit such a heavy point. Brother, you hit such a heavy point. Michael Brown went in there because they didn't give him his cut of the dope money. And he took them cigars and knocked over the shelf and left out. And the bastards called the cops. And they're drug dealers.
Right.
Yep.
They drug dealers and called the cops on the brother.
Yep.
And end up getting him killed. Nothing happened to the store.
Yeah.
No repercussions, nothing. And they got them on tape selling drugs.
Yeah.
And then and the Justice Department went and studied it and come to find out the Justice Department said they ran the city like a goddamn plantation.
Yes, sir.
Stopping us 3 and 4 times as much as white people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was trying to get his cut of illegal dope money that these low-life bastards was selling out of a grocery store. In the United States, in the Midwest. What a wonderful life they must have had.
Right.
You selling beer and cigarettes and chips and cupcakes and a little weed and cocaine and whatever else you had the hell back there.
Right.
A wonderful life. Getting that money and sending that money back to West Bum Hell, wherever country you come from. And then get on your knees 5 times a day and call on the rock in Mecca and say that you're a faithful servant of God.
Right.
While that brother is dead because of your influence. That brother's in the grave because of your influence. He ain't have no business having a business in the black community.
That's right.
We should have been adamant against that even before that happened. If black people only bought out of stores that was owned by black people, maybe, just maybe, Michael Brown would not be in the grave right now.
That's right.
That's right, sir.
And so many others that we don't know nothing about.
Yeah.
And rarely have I seen a white man pull over somebody on the side of the road and all of a sudden the person on the side of the road end up dead.
Right.
That don't happen to white men that often, but it sure happens to us as often as they feel. Damn them, do you know the life we live here? We live a life where our life is based on how angry somebody feels.
Right.
That's right.
Can you imagine that, man? Like that's how we live. Black men live based on how angry a white man wakes up that day.
Yeah.
And how much stepping and fetching you can do to make him not kill you once his attention is on you.
That's right.
Like you got to be so nice with him that maybe, just maybe, he'll decide, I'll let this nigga go.
Right.
I'll get the next one. I'll get the next one because he was so nice and compliant. Boy, they gonna come for that. They wake up and have a bad day. And let me tell you, what you brought out earlier was so heavy. That immigration guy that called Adams a nigga, a boy rather.
Come.
That devil right there, that's an old country bumpkin, hateful piece of garbage. And brother, that's how he thinks.
Yeah.
Like you got to make him feel good. And Donald Trump is the same way, that rotten monster. He's the same way. You got to make him feel good. Otherwise, you catch hell from him. Like them Cutter and them, they knew what they was doing. They bought him a $400 million jet. Give that devil something so expensive and so nice, he don't have a choice but to work with us. Because that's what kind of animal he is. They doing intel too on the president.
Right.
Imagine that. I got to make another man feel good just for me to be able to function around here. That's homosexuality.
Yeah.
That's soft homoism. It's insane. Salakia.
Salakia, if I could, General.
Please.
No, it's just a heavy point you brought out about the protest. The protest now is just like a social outlet for a lot of our people. And there's no real organizing going on. There's no really strategic effort going on. It's just like a social outlet, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, for a lot of what's happening with our people. And like going back to the Michael Brown thing, it's like, you know, those foreigners that's in our community that's having those stores, a lot of them they've been getting arrested lately because of not only selling drugs, but the illegal vapes, the vaping thing. They breaking all kind of laws, man. But they able to come up in our community and set up these businesses, and it's really a front. It's really just money laundering, you know. Because it's one business, you know, where I grew up at,
and straight up drug dealing. They ain't just laundering the money; they making the money over there, and then laundering it through the little bodega or whatever the hell it is.
No, come, sir. It's like I seeing like businesses like, you know, Little Tokyo, and there's only one car around there like every month. There's nobody really eating there, and like how they still able to have a buffet every year? It's something ain't right. Like you ain't getting no real business like that, but they money laundering. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you look at what's going on with these politicians, and like I asked myself, like when those politicians got unalived up there in Minnesota, and like they was like, well, it was somebody pretending to be a police officer. How do we know that these people that's coming into our Latino brothers and sisters community are really ICE? How do we know? We don't know.
Yeah, because they got no badges and they got masks over their face.
That's right. It's almost like the Patriot Front. Like they got their faces covered. Nobody is showing identification. Nobody, you don't even see, half of the time you don't even see, you just see an unmarked vehicle and white men hop out with their face, and you can get anything printed on a armored vest.
Right.
You're right. Like that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's rendition. That's what that is. That's kidnapping. It's rendition. It's against the law.
It's just like you said, John. Like even in this country, there's still something that they say called due process. You know what I'm saying? And whether you have a person may not have citizenship rights or what you consider may not be a citizen, but they still have human rights. So when you going into these communities and just snatching people up, there is no translator. There's nobody in there to be a someone in between the situation. We don't know where
no mediator.
Right. You can basically disappear these people, and you don't even know. Nobody would know nothing. How do we know that they're in the ICE? Then they be like, well, this person is not. When they go try to find their loved one, they're not in the ICE center. So where did they take them? We don't know. So just like how this man was able to pretend to be a police officer, how do we know there aren't MAGA loyalists or people like him in the community who has access to armored vests, and then they put ICE on there or whatever and got their face covered, and they just hop out and say, you know, you come with me because we ICE and I'm white and I say so.
And do you know how many videos are all over the internet of white men pretending to be police officers?
Yes, sir.
It is a huge problem. They running around, man, in fake patrol cars, pulling people over, acting like real cops. They got a Jones to be a cop so bad. Half psychopaths riding in these cars, pulling people over. So what's to say these militias ain't doing the same thing?
Right.
And of course, now we find out black politicians aren't shit. Okay? They ain't got no power. Okay? At all. Hell, the Senate ain't even have no power. They sitting up there begging Donald Trump saying he supposed to go to the Senate before he go to war. He supposed to come see us. We supposed to declare a declaration of war. Meanwhile, he ain't paying them no mind, and ain't nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just like the video you just pulled where the Latino girl said if they put a hand on this one, that one, blah, 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 they already putting their hands on them.
Yeah.
They beat up the mayor out there in Newark, New Jersey, because they was at the airport detaining Latino people. They beat him up. They arrested the other one. They arrested the one that was a senator, I believe, at the Homeland Security meeting, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That they dragged out. That was him, and then the other one that went to immigration just recently. They went and arrested him and took him away.
Right.
Even though he had a court date that he had to be back in court. So they doing whatever they want to do, man. And that's why, we got to wait on Christ. That's why the victory over this battle here, when the Israelites are risen up to power, brother, like the scripture said, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Like the pain and the sorrow that these Edomites are going to feel for all that they've done and gotten away with or think they gotten away with is going to be enormous. When the Lord carried us out of Egypt after them 10 plagues, they rushed us out of Egypt.
Right.
They could not wait to get rid of us. And when we went to borrow really what they stole from us, they handed it over quickly and rushed us out of the door. Because of what they had done and the guilt and shame and the evil that they had done. And this man is just like an animal. Like if you don't stop him, he's just like your dog at home. If you don't stop that dog, he will tear up everything in the house.
Yeah.
If you don't train him, if you don't make him stop, why would he ever think that he has to stop?
Right.
And the problem with us is we're trying to get a dog to have mercy on us. And not realizing a dog has no conscience. He doesn't care about any of that. If he feels like being nice, he will. If he doesn't, he won't. And he'll take as much room as he can get. He'll bark when you give him food if you let him. You touch his bowl, he'll bark. You leave the house when he don't want you. That's why they had that show, The Dog Whisperer. Remember that show?
Yeah.
With the brother Milan. He had to go to people's houses and tell them how to stop the dog. Because the dog kept taking more and more ground. The dog was intolerant of the human. You know what I mean? And he had to go in there and show him how to back the dog up off of him. The white man's the same way. Problem is we don't have the tools to show him how to back the dog up.
Right.
We just let the dog run wild and try to get the dog to have mercy on us. When the dog don't care about that. Care about what he wants. And that's all he cares about. Why we gotta call in Yahanna. He's the real dog whisperer.
That's right.
He's he gonna really correct the dog.
That's right.
That's right. So like, I don't know if you remember this brother here. Just the second point on the store. This brother was Alton Sterling. And I think he was selling CDs. And he gets into a little altercation. They ask him for something, and he was reaching for like his cell phone. And they pin him under the car and shot him. But the story that came out was that he grabbed the cop's gun, or he had an illegal gun.
They did. Lied as usual.
Lied as usual. And like what he was bringing out about the heathen store. The store he got shot in front of was run by some Arabs. And remember, the cops was pressuring the Arabs for the surveillance tape. And it's only after, I think, the lawyers or the AC, whoever it is, got behind them and got the tape. Then the story came out because, remember, sister was in the car videotaping. And she was saying he didn't have no gun. He didn't have no gun. And they said, nah, the cops had a whole story about this brother. And then you got the tape from the Arab and them store. Like, it was like a point of contention for the Arabs to either help or side with the cops. So it's just what you're saying there. Like their presence in our neighborhood, they benefit off of us. But when it's time to protect themselves, they'll close up shop and just leave you to die.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
And just to add to what you're saying too, sir. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I've been watching this. You know what I mean? This entertainment. You know what I mean? They call it war. You know what I mean? That going on in the Middle East, and I'm recognizing that something I didn't recognize. You know what I mean? Could be. You know what I mean? Since I've been here, which is the narrative. They control the narrative, and when they control the narrative, you know what I mean, black people gonna suffer. Like they ain't no, you know what I mean, like they ain't no way, you know what I mean. The only way, you know what I mean, you could get around them controlling the narrative, you're gonna have to come into the ICPK and learn that the Lord, He has a narrative and He controls everything. But brother, they when they do something, you really, I mean, like you have to, like there's no, where's the evidence?
Right.
I mean, black people in their mind, once the white man says something, it's like, okay, well, yeah, well, I mean, he should have stopped, but he should have just do this. When they're controlling the media, they're controlling everything.
Right.
You understand? Like it's strategic in a way where black people don't control the media. We don't control the narrative. You know what I mean? We are not allowed to do it. You know what I mean? With this devil. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And this war showed me a whole lot where you clearly see the oppressor lying. But boy, you have a narrative where you can't get around. You know what I mean? Like that weapon of mass destruction. And then the thing is with them is 10 years or 20 years down the road, you can realize, yo, he was lying.
The whole time.
Yeah, he was lying. And nobody was asking for the evidence because he controlling everything. You understand? Like he lock off everything coming out of his country. But somehow he have everything going on in some other country. Meaning we don't see what's behind their door because he controlling it. But somehow they're seeing everything behind our doors. You understand? Like remember they had a tunnel in New York where there was where they said there was doing illegal stuff.
Yeah.
In that tunnel in New York.
Yeah.
You understand?
The so-called Jew.
Yes, sir. But we the criminals, like they control the narrative on black people, on Hispanics, on you know what I mean, on Issachar. Like you would think Issachar committing genocide, but they're committing the genocide.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They you know what I mean, unaliving babies, unaliving, you know what I mean, 30 members you know what I mean, of some family they're unaliving. But you will never hear about it because they control it. You understand? It's the same thing with Michael Brown. Like, where was the black media to come out and say, no, where's the evidence? Let's see the tape. Now, well, nobody check. There's no check and balance when it comes to black people or Hispanics or First Nation people.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're just left to suffer the consequences. You know what I mean? But they're able to, you know what I mean, come out and say, nah, we the most moral this, we the most moral that.
Yeah.
But you unaliving children. Why are you hiding? Why are you hiding? Why the internet all of a sudden shut down?
Right.
And what I want to know is why haven't we been able to build a serious black news station that is not controlled by another nation?
That's it, sir. Constant.
The Griot and all those spots. What happened?
Constant.
You know what I mean? Like
that's why we have the Black Watch. That's why we had the Black Watch.
That's
it.
Exactly.
Black Watch. That Black Watch putting everything in perspective.
That's
right.
And they're watching. Now
They're
watching a whole lot more now that they watch, and now they can't help but posting and reposting because this is the unfiltered, uncensored, not controlled, nothing like that. You get any real deal.
And just to add, I think Captain Ash put something up on Facebook. I don't know how true it is. I don't know if it's AI generated, but the president of Venezuela was saying that they're not the Jews. He was saying that we the 12 tribe. You know what I mean?
Brother, if he's saying that, then get ready, because he's cracking the sky with that. As influencers begin to repeat that mantra, seeing the monstrous work that they're doing, it's going to have a ripple effect across the entire planet. They already know it in their spirit. They already know it.
That's right, so they know it.
You know what I mean? But because we don't have big enough voices yet, is why they can dismiss it. But eventually they won't be able to dismiss it because it'll be coming out the walls like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So, like, if I could, General, that's a heavy point you're bringing out, and double down on what Captain Doc said about controlling the narrative. Zornier Hurston had a quote that says, "If you are silent about your pain, they will unalive you and say you enjoyed it." So
yes, they would.
That whole thing about controlling the narrative, and that's what we push here in the ISUPK, and we really push that to a higher level, because when you look at the civil rights movement, and you look at everything that how everything has been formatted, it puts us at a point of contention, because then you have to question yourself on why do I exist. And as Commander General Yahanna said earlier, what you said earlier, sir, about how our life is dictated on how this man feels. So how this man feels determines our level of quote unquote success.
Yeah.
And that's based on the narrative,
which is insane.
I mean, it's crazy. And everyone outside of us sees it, but they won't say anything about it. They know it's true.
Yeah.
These other nations that go and like as these geopolitical and that war really start to heat up, even with the cracks in the MAGA base, is going to come out.
That's it.
People are going to say, look how you did these Black people. Look how you did these Latinos. It's going to happen because the truth is already in the algorithm. People say the internet is undefeated. The truth is undefeated.
That's right.
And that's one thing about the truth. When it get in the algorithm, it takes on life of its own. It's like a fire. And a fire needs oxygen to breathe. And we see what is going on with these countries. And as it heats up, everything that Commander General Yahanna and ISUPK is saying is going to go on an international scale.
That's right.
Because what does this country really have to really use as leverage to say that we're the strongest? They have God's chosen people in captivity.
That's it.
That's their flex.
That's the real flex.
That's their flex. They flex is, you see these niggas? We got them. We beat them down. We beat the Latinos down. Look how we doing. It's almost like you getting ready to go into the fight, and you got somebody in the headlock and you hitting them. Like, look what I'm doing to him. Look what I'm doing. But in a minute, it's going to change.
That's
like
it.
Donald Trump, he told that Ukrainian that you don't have the cards. Well, the Lord is shuffling the deck now.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's shuffling the deck.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
You may not have the cards, you know what I'm saying? The Lord shuffles the deck. He controls the deck. You know what I'm saying? You don't control the deck.
That's
and the
right.
Lord can, and when he shuffle that deck, it can go from dark to light and light to dark real quick. You know what I'm saying? So with them controlling, even with the they shutting the government down, the Israeli government shutting down the media over there. They didn't want them sharing all them videos of the missiles hitting that land over there, hitting Tel Aviv. They didn't want that. Why? Because that means you can't control the narrative.
That's right.
And fear starts to happen.
Yep.
People start to say, well, can I really trust my government? Is my government putting my life in danger? That right there is a different level. Because fear can go viral. We live in a social media age.
That's right.
So now the thing with the internet is everybody has a narrative. You just pick which one you believe.
That's
Whether
it.
you subscribe or unsubscribe. based on that. So like I yield.
That's it. That's it. And General, just to point out too, the woman in charge of defense on March the 25th or the 23rd of this year, she came out and said that Iran ain't on the way to building a nuclear bomb.
Right, I heard that.
Today they asked Trump about it, and he said, "I don't care. They have it," which means they control it. They control it. You turn the TV on. If it's not about Israel doing some damage to some country, then it's about the Hispanics and how they, they're disorderly, or black people how they're disorderly. You understand? Like they're controlling everything. It's almost boiled down to, black people think, you love Jordans like that. Where you go spend $200, $300 for a pair of Jordans. You controlled. You think you're free, but you are controlled. You have a leader like Commander General Yahanna, you will not be thinking about buying Jordans. You wouldn't, you might have the money to do, but you ain't gonna be thinking about doing it. You'll be thinking about your brother next year. You understand? And they take that away from you. You know what I mean? And it's so good that now they, it's not that the only in chaos. Now there's a fear that they could bleed. They could get hit in the nose and they could bleed. That is the fear added to the fact now they have to worry about how we gonna control these blacks, how we gonna control these Hispanics. Well, now we had to go across there, like the narrative. It's it gonna have a crack in it. It's gonna get a crack, and the truth is gonna start coming out. People gonna start doing more research, and it's gonna start coming out. Like right now, you go, you spend a good couple hours on YouTube watching, some of these
influencers.
Influencers. And you're gonna start hearing them saying these are Europeans, these are Ashkenaz. You know what I mean? They're gonna tell you that they're not ethnic Jews. It's coming out because they no longer, have a tight hold on the narrative. Now it's coming out that these men are just greedy, they're just colonizers. You're hearing it, they're just colonizers. They just want to go what they did to Libya. How could I just say what they did to the Native Indians? What it did to the Native Indians, they came in and they caused chaos. You understand?
Like we was fooled, if I could not, we was fooled into believing that they was repentant for what they did. Little did we know they was proud of what they did and wanted to do some more.
That's it, concert.
You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't mean to cut in on you.
Concert. And what they did to black people. They came in and they give you the Crips and the Bloods. If there any Crips and the Bloods, now you have Malcolm X, you have Martin Luther King. So they came in and divide you. They caused chaos in the community. They came and put drugs. Drugs was like a nuclear bomb in the black community. And then left you there. Like General, I'm looking up, this year. What's the psychological effect of a victim not receiving justice? And General, you read down everything here is black people. Like we have not received justice for anything. So here what I say: anxiety and depression, emotional distress, anxiety and depression, anger and resentment, fear and helplessness, guilt and self-blame. Like black people always saying, we killing each other. That is self-blame. Right. You know what I mean? Like we in this situation because of him, because he control the narrative. If we able to control the narrative, we will take care of each other. We will, we'll get rid of the problem. Right. You understand? You
and can I ask? Go ahead. Sorry,
not John. So like I said,
go ahead, please. I'll come in after you.
Concert. And the second is trauma-related symptoms. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Emotional numbing. You want to know why you're having your relationship problem? Because we didn't get justice.
That's it.
Difficulty sleeping. You know what I mean? 3, loss of trust and social disconnection. So now we don't trust each other. We'll rather trust another nation. You understand? We're part trusted in not when a black man come and tell you, you God chosen people. Who, me?
That's right.
Nah, nah. I'm not one of those people. No, you wouldn't believe us, and that's because we ain't get that justice, and that's the psychological effect. And these small hats, they are the fathers of psychology, and they know what they're doing to black people by not giving them justice. Like, how in the hell are you going to tell us that our history started when we could get on the boat? That we African. If we African, we're the African athletes that doing what the brothers across here doing.
That's right.
With them. You understand?
Right.
We're rappers.
There's not even one
concert like
African that's trying to be a spokesman for us.
Concert. Ain't you go listen to Ethiopian rap. Brother, it's traumatic.
Really?
You understand? Like you can't. I mean, like you can't.
Is that bad, or is it just he's speaking against us?
No, General. They cannot. I remember Kahan. You remember when I think I forget what we was watching, and you tell me come hear this, and was some Ethiopian singing, and General, it was horrible. Ain't nobody playing Ethiopian music in the club. Them Africans get an Afrobeat from us. That's why it's playing in the club. Them thing when we playing in the club, if they ain't get nothing from us, ain't nobody, you know what I mean? But they
You might want to listen to that nonsense.
You understand? And not now, you know what I mean? Now you're gaining truth, but you're resisting it, and that's, you know what I mean? That's because we didn't get justice as a people. Right. You know what I mean? We damage bad, and it's going to take the truth to heal you. You know what I mean?
So like if I could, I'm gonna give it up, Captain. I thought what you're saying so heavy, man. On your diatribe, laying that out, because like when we look at it, I do these Dr. Umar Negroes, these blackity black Negroes talking about when they come to our Latino brothers, that's not our problem. And like we live in some goddamn bubble that we immune from oppression. Once again, controlling the narrative they pushing comes from MAGA. Talking about they should do it the right way. They should do. Oh, so all of a sudden, black people, we such law-abiding citizens. We do everything the right way. You don't lie on your address when you're trying to get your kid to go to a better school district. Stop it. Like that, what you just said, Captain, is that right there is a microcosm into our world. No justice. And that's why the Lord said he's a just God. He's a God. He don't like false balances. Because you erode a people by doing that.
He's so balanced. He's so balanced that his inheritance is only one nation.
That's
the water, sir. The water, General.
His balance. I'm sorry to keep cutting in on you. Go ahead, Salaki.
No, come, General. I echo that, sir. What you saying is right. Like that's like the Lord is true balance, and that's why this society don't like His word. That's why it's hated so much. And going back to what Captain Doc said about earlier about the balance, I just want to get one scripture about when it comes to the narrative in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3, because this scripture right here is showing you what's going to happen in the end times when it comes to the narrative. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this man and who he is, because the only way he's been able to survive this long, it's like what Captain Doc said. The narrative, which is why Christ said that we wrestle not against flesh and blood. The principalities, you know what I'm saying? The rulers of darkness in high places. Why? Because you in high places, you can control the narrative. You can filter what you want to reach the bottom.
Yep.
Like get that scripture, my brother. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means.
You see that? Don't let no man deceive you by. Don't let all these content creators and these influencers and whoever with the mainstream media or social media. Don't let them deceive you by any means. You know what I'm saying? But whatever they talking about to try to say that we not the Lord's chosen people and that it's our fault and all these things that's coming against the Lord's chosen people. The adversary who's adverse to our welfare. Don't let them deceive you by any means. Go ahead.
For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first.
That day is the day of the Lord, the judgment day. Esau called it doomsday because in that day he's doomed. This empire ends when that day comes. That day ain't gonna come unless there be a falling away first. Falling away from what? The narrative, what you believe, what's in your spirit. Keep going.
And that man of sin, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
And that's what's gonna have to happen, man. That man, right now, he's concealed, but in this time, he's gonna be revealed. How he's gonna be revealed? The narrative is gonna change. People are gonna start to see this man is the son of perdition. He is the reason that the earth is in the way that's in the way that it is now.
That's right.
The wicked is about to wear out his welcome on earth. That's what's about to happen. But that right there, that narrative is going to change, and he's going to be revealed. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see right then, no matter how much. See, once again, they can lie. You can still lie, but you can't lie like you used to.
Right.
You can lie. Now, we're not saying you can't tell a lie.
Right.
It's a different time now. You know what I'm saying? The clock, the sand in the hourglass is about to run out. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and you can't. Yeah, one thing, like the Bible say, he have but a little time. He's just why he's rushing so much. Like that's why Trump signed so many executive. You like, man, it ain't even the first year ain't even over with yet.
Yeah,
he's trying to rush bureaucracy to the point where he's breaking the law of his own. He's breaking the branches of his own government. Every branch of his government, he's broken. The system we are past. We're post-constitutional crisis now, based on these political theorists and these political historians. We're past that. Some of them say you're going in. I forgot the word. Autocratic. I forgot the word. Not plutocratic. Autocratic. Autocratic. We damn near there now. We basically right there. So anything goes when you get to this point. But that's why the Bible said these things must happen. And thanks be to the Lord for Commanding General Yahanna and his weekly addresses letting for the nation.
That's right.
That's why it's important to listen to Commanding General Yahanna's weekly addresses to keep us informed on what's going on spiritually, to give us foresight as well as insight. I just want to bring it out, sir. Slack, I yield.
Yeah, I'm right. Most of them correct.
That's right.
If I could, sir. Well, the cap is so heavy. I was just thinking, when's the last time anybody ever heard the term anti-Semitic? When's the last time we heard that term? We haven't heard that term in a long time because that veil is being removed. I mean, nobody gives a damn about.
They burnt up that currency.
Yeah.
They had a bonfire with that. If I could, we should be using it more when people come up against us.
Right.
Since they done lost it, we need to pick it on up. You anti-Semitic. Well, a black can't be a Jew. You're anti-Semitic. We need to pick it up. It worked well for them. We might as well pick it up when it comes to them, especially if it's a so-called Jew saying it. Oh my God, he's totally anti-Semitic.
Right.
Oh my God.
You know, man. Salaki, I mean to jump in on your Ramwa. Salaki.
No, those. If I could just real quick on the point Nathak was just making there about how they train us how to think, right, and how they control the narrative. There's a video I just want to play. It's a video on a topic called learned helplessness. Learned helplessness. and it's let me play. I ain't gonna do it.
Is it a video that teaches them how to pretend to be helpless?
No, it's a video with certain systems that put in place, and they're showing you how you could train a person to accept being the victim, even though they're not a victim, and you don't set them up to never succeed.
Wow! Please play that.
I'm gonna play it right now. Here's where
Dang. That sounds like a whole mind control thing.
Man, General, it's damn near up there with them. Like the test with the dolls.
Yeah.
And, the like a test you would do in a classroom where you say a message and see what happens at the end.
Damn.
It's so simple.
I could imagine what gonna happen when this stuff comes out that they've done. How horrific it's gonna be. How people are gonna be shocked at what these people have been doing to us.
Because it's so simple, and it reminds me of the Model Minority documentary you had did. It go line in line with it. Let me let's play the video, sir.
Just do the first one only. An anagram is rearrange the letters to form a word. When you're done, I need to see your hand raised. Put your hands down. Let's just go to number 2. Don't even worry about number 1. When you're done, I want to see your hands up. For number 3, rearrange the letters, and as soon as you do, go ahead and put your hand up. Here's what you need to know. You were both given 2 different lists. This side of the room was given these 3 words. The left side of the room, here you go. They were given bat. What would the word be? The second one, they were given lemon. Brian, the word? Melon. They were easy. The trick here was both of you were given the third word, which was the same. The third word was cinerama, which was American. Your first 2 words on this side of my classroom were not solvable. They were impossible tasks. I'm sorry. I know, but here's what we did this for. I was able to induce something called learned helplessness in the left side of the room very easily within about 5 minutes. I want you to think about what happened to you in this left side of the room when you saw the right side of the room raising their hands because they already had the task done. Jory.
Felt stupid.
You felt stupid? Okay.
I felt rushed.
Felt rushed? Joel?
Yo.
You see it, sir.
That's it.
Brother. That's what happens to you when you go to white schools.
Yes.
That's great. You gotta send me that link.
Come on, I'm sending it to you, sir.
I'll be studying that for the next 3 months.
Man, I saw this shit, and it took me right back to that Model Minority thing.
Yeah.
Where they get in the full package.
Yeah.
Something that is impossible to work with.
Yeah.
They give us something we could solve, but it's like, you can't figure that out. But because we done been fed bullshit so long, we just accept that this thing, we just can't do it. Meanwhile, they made it so we can't do it.
That's
it.
Just to accept failure, like, I'm stupid. Yeah, the students say I felt stupid. I felt like I was rough. I felt this, I felt that. They inflict in us that whole thing, and it's by design. It's a whole
that's the craziest thing in the world.
So Locky,
come.
If I could, man, that was so heavy, Captain Michelle. I want to check that out too, because I was reading this. This is man by his name W. Edwards Deming, right? And this dude here, he was like a management consultant, and he had a quote that says, "A bad system would beat a good person every time." And based on his studies, he said that a bad system can hinder even the most skilled individuals. Like no matter how skilled the individual is, if you put them in a bad system, it can hinder their growth and their process, their progress. And it just goes to show you how systems play a part in our captivity, which is why the Bible, man, is so heavy when it say pressure make a wise man mad. Like you gotta be wise to understand the pressure, man. Like they running a system. That's why racism is systematic. People talking about the UPK, y'all racist. We don't have the power to deprive somebody of health care and education. We're not doing that, but they have a system, no matter how skilled you are as an individual, for you not to succeed.
Yeah.
In this empire. And that right there is like the textbook definition, which is why Christ knew it thousands of years ago, which is why he had to reinforce the law, where he said, love thy neighbor as thyself. Because you think you're an individual, you're gonna lose every time against this system, unless you have a better system to withstand it. Unless you build a world where you can thrive. Because other than that, you're gonna be subject to this system, this way of life. And no matter how skilled you are, you're still gonna fail. And and guess what? When you fail, guess who you're gonna blame? Yourself.
Exactly.
That's great.
Concert. And Gerald, just to add to, there's the same thing too with the colleges and the schools, right? Black people not allowed to design curriculums for the people. We're not allowed to do that. They're doing that. The small hats all into our education system. That whole thing with that project Esther they're trying to bring in, they want to go in our schools to teach us, to tell us, you know what I mean, what we should learn, what we shouldn't learn in schools. You understand? That's why they'll never allow us to do that CRT in school. They'll never, ever allow us to do it. Because you know what I mean, you allow us to do it. We only take what 50 years out of slavery to have tons of Black Wall Street. We can figure this, you know what I mean, that they've been BSing us under 5 years if they allow us to create a curriculum for our own people.
Right.
We'll learn it quick. You know what I mean? But they won't. Because they knew when they let us do it, we got Black Wall Street. So now all you do now is go get your black leaders, pay them off, get them a ton of money, and then blackmail them. And now they're not even worrying about, you know what I mean, brothers who don't have the knowledge they have to, you know what I mean, to understand. We just, you know what I mean, some wheel in the cog, you know what I mean, and just, you know what I mean, just going about life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why Christ said, go in the byways and the highways and, you know what I mean, get them poor people, get them brothers, get the lame, the weak, because there's the ones he's going to use to overthrow this place when Christ come back.
It's crazy.
If I could too, and like you were saying, Cap, now I thought like after slavery, all those Black Wall Streets, them Black people didn't go to economic school. They didn't go and get a degree. They did that off sheer community and racial cohesiveness.
That's it.
They didn't. They built a major economic infrastructure based off just that, off of working and dealing with your own people and having your own way of dealing with things. We learn things based off their curriculum. What you're saying is so right, and it is not natural to us.
No,
it don't work for us. Just like this whole thing of this whole illusion of democracy, it don't work. It don't even work in a civilized world. You see that now because what? The system, the system of government, like it's just so heavy, man. When you think about what's going on with the narrative, man, man, it's the news now. It's social media didn't beat mainstream media within a 24 cycle. Now they didn't beat them time after time after time. It's so bad now. They lost. Let me show how much they lost the narrative. If you have a video and goes viral, if you have a viral video now, CNN will call you for an interview. It could be a regular citizen. And they have to get it. They have to get it through you now. They have to get the video from you, and they have to get the narrative from you. What happened? What did you see? You know what I'm saying? How did you feel about that? That's where we are now. So, and you know, it's so bad with our people, with a lot of these civil rights people, because like I gave example, even in like a lot of these brothers and sisters that's starting to pass away that was in that era that marched with Dr. Martin Luther King and a lot of those other civil rights marches. Their family won't even let us interview them. Like now, keep in mind, we're not asking them to say nothing different than what they told 40 years ago, 50 years ago. All we want to do is just hear them say what they said to another company or another news outlet to us on our platform.
Right.
But why are they afraid? The narrative. You telling us dogs got sick on you versus you telling the white media dogs got sick on you, it changes the narrative. Why? It still happened. It doesn't change that it was 4 little girls bombed in the church.
Right.
Why they don't want you to tell it to the UPK? The narrative.
Right.
That's why. They don't want the narrative to change. And that's why they're afraid of the truth. Because for them to tell us that it happened means that we're right. It means that the Bible is right.
That's right.
Like, why do you gotta block? Why do you gotta isolate them from us? Why we can't sit down and have a lot of them are passing away. We just want to have an interview. You don't want them to sit down with Commander General Yahanna. You don't want them to sit down with a priest and prophet ISUPK, and we just hear their story. Let them just tell us how it was in the 60s.
Exactly.
In the 50s. You don't even want that to happen. Why? Because the narrative.
Yep.
So like I yield.
Yep.
It's lucky if I could. What kept my shock, that video that you found, that is a powerful video because it shows the power that they have in the manipulation of the education system. And part of the manipulation of the education system is part of what drove me into the truth, into the idea, made me start to look for answers, because I started to see, I didn't have a great understanding of it, but I started to see this system manipulation that Lady brought out in that video. Like, my high school was an all-black high school. It was supposed to be run down, bad high school, fighting, low graduation rate and all that. But I ended up making it to the college, to a nice university, all white, Indiana University. But while I was in the classes, I had to go through it's called groups. It's a black program where they take for the black, and you gotta pass with a 3.3 or whatever. But that summer course is harder than regular university, and they say it's to get you ready for the university. So you got to go through a harder portion to get into the university with the white students. And then when I got into the university with the white students, I started noticing these white students ain't smarter than the kids I went to high school with in the ghetto. We circle talking about our feelings. And this is supposed to be the top college in the state. They barely giving us, the assignments are basically just busy work. The kids hitting each other in the nuts, taking pills, getting drunk, playing video games till 4 and 5 in the morning, fucking partying all day. So this is not no. I'm thinking I'm gonna see a whole bunch of Einstein type people, and they all supposed to be studious. It's the exact opposite. It's a damn big party. And that's what made me start to look for answers. Like, these kids are about to have degrees from a top-notch university and have on a career path. But the same kids I went to school with that is just as smart, you can see no difference in intelligence, but they're not going to have these opportunities.
Wow.
So it made me start to look for answers like, okay, what happened in the past that we're at this point now? Because these white kids, they 3rd, 4th, 5th generation of being in this college. Their parents got them a car and laptops and anything they want. So I'm like, I had to look into the history, and I started looking into it, and that's what got me on the path to find this truth. So that educational manipulation is 100% true. We'll probably, like Commander Yahanna said, we'll probably find out that all these so-called test scores that we failing on, we probably taking totally different tests.
Yes. Damn.
You remember the SAT? They had a big scandal with the SAT exam at one time. and they were saying it was culturally biased. The way it was
remember
written,
that.
it was man. So and it may not even only be limited to the educational system. Who knows what they're doing with the trades and the mechanics and the plumbing and because if you come in there, you don't know nothing. They're giving you something else unsolvable and giving Noah and Corey and them the real thing, and they passing, and you looking at them like, how the hell you passing? And you leave so stupid and damn, and you staying up late and studying, and you can't get past, not knowing the shit they're giving you can't fix it.
Yo, that
It's
shit
it's
is
like top
crazy.
level gaslighting, and it done. And I'm sure every tribe you go through the tribes, we all have the same story of no matter how much I study, I can't meet the grades that these heathens making, and we think it's a fair playing field, and it's not. And we just accept that I didn't study hard enough, or we start to blame ourselves. Well, I got dyslexia, or I got this, I got that, and blah 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 blah. And
Next
it's
thing you
none
know,
of that.
you self-sabotage.
Exactly.
Right.
Same.
If I could,
there's none of that. Like the witchcraft is so real, it's ridiculous.
Khan, if I could, this is also one of the main things they were saying that they were saying was a problem with black students in these high universities. A lot of times, that the black students, when they came in, they would be so gung-ho about their education that they would only choose classes, but they would only choose like difficult, serious study classes. Basically, what it was doing is their first or second year in college, they would get burnt out because they were taking all these difficult classes or these mainstream core classes. And the oppressors, the white students, knew that they would not choose any of those core classes, that they would choose more fun, easy grade classes to basically get an easy ride through the whole university.
Right.
Like they were already being taught that, like, okay, your first year, you shouldn't have no hard classes. It should all just be fun. Your second year, all fun. With your third year, maybe pick your major then. So by the time your third year in college, you just had fun for 2 years. But the black students, I don't know if they weren't telling us this, or maybe they could have been gaslighting us like, look, y'all need to take these real curriculum classes, these harder, and putting us in harder classes to make us fail early. Devils, man. But that was the problem with a lot of black students going to these white colleges, that they were failing early because of the class choices either that they were given or the options that they had.
So, Locke, if I can speak on that too, Cap, you're so right. And another thing too, they do the ones of us who are quote unquote geniuses or child prodigies, they separate them from the rest of the black people. That's another thing they do. Like you catch one of us that's among us that are exceptionally good in math or exceptionally good in a certain area where you pretty much are at the top percentile. They have to they try to separate you not just as far as class wise, but culturally as well. And that why? Because if you stay among your people and you are, you know what I'm saying, then now you give them the cheat code. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, Captain Shock, a lot of these things are exposing the education system. And I'll tell you something else that's really exposing the education system, that AI. That AI, oh my goodness. It's really showing, like they using that AI so much, it's telling on itself. It's telling on these teachers. It's telling on the curriculum. Because if you're going to base anything off of truth, it has to be, the formula has to be based off truth. So when you they plugging in, okay, what if you grow up in this, and a lot of them, they're not even talking about race. They're just talking about social conditions. And they say, what if you grow up in this social condition? If you grow up under this social condition in a country, under this type of government, are you oppressed? AI tell them yes. So hold on. So if AI agree with you being oppressed, well, goddamn.
Right.
I mean, all they saying is just plug in, okay, low income housing, drugs, prostitution, you can't get a job. You start plugging in these things, the computer, now if you put black, it might say, no, it's just your fault. But if you just plug in the conditions and take away race, oh my goodness. I mean, come on, man. So you know what I'm saying? But no, I just wanted to add that point what Captain Kapash was saying about the education. It's not education because education has benefits. Indoctrination is just it's like a hamster running through on a hamster wheel. And that's what we have here. We have it. If we really had education, we wouldn't be in this condition. Not this long. So like I yield.
And if I could real quick piggyback off that, I know they must be going through hell dealing with the AI, because I remember one time when I was in high school, it's like anyone center or nothing, but there was a history teacher going over history, and she said she was going over like the Carnegies or something, and said Carnegies, they were so rich, had so much money, they were the richest of their time, and I simply asked the teacher, raised my hand, asked her, how did he get so rich?
Oh my God! You weren't supposed to ask that.
Basically kicked me out the class and basically hated me for like 2 years. Just because I asked that question, and other people was laughing. I was like, I'm so serious. Like, how did he get so rich? And she didn't want to answer, or maybe didn't have the answer. So I can tell. I know if they had AI and they asked, what made this guy so rich, and come up some, slave, boot seller or something. He sold the boots for slaves or something. Who the hell, and then you'll get to see what you're really being taught about, and who these and what they really are.
That's heavy. It would have really been revealed. You're like Googling it now. How did the Carnegies get rich? Hell, let's answer that question. Somebody Google that. Let's answer that question. Let's answer that on the air right now for our brother Kapash and all those that may not know. Let's answer that question. Somebody Google it or use the chat GPT or something. How did the Carnegies become so wealthy?
I got it right here, sir.
Go ahead.
Let's read that if y'all don't mind.
Wakan, sir. Andrew Carnegie acquired his wealth primarily through the steel industry, building a massive empire that dominated the late 19th century. He started with humble beginnings working in a cotton mill, but through hard work, through a cotton mill.
Which means he had slaves working. Who else knew how to run the cotton mill?
Right.
But how did that's how he really got his wealth. He started from humble beginnings. Them humble beginnings was he made money off of slaves.
That's right.
Who was picking cotton. He was running the mill and turning it into fabric. And then went into the steel industry, took that money and flipped it into the steel industry and got rich.
Right.
Had black slaves building the railroad too.
Damn. Like that's why you weren't supposed to ask that question.
Right.
Because then you can realize really you just learning about your slave matches that they trying to glorify.
That's right.
Yeah.
And trying to act like they made great money to being noble and wise and good businessmen when they were really just thieves and slave masters and gangsters. So that was heavy. So
if I could, I just wanted to, can I add something on that too, General?
Please, Joe. Please.
Like it said, I'm looking at it, he had exploitative labor practices. It says here, according to Google, to the breakdown of his controversy of wealth, it says Carnegie's workers face grueling 12-hour shift, often with 24-hour shift and physically demanding jobs.
Damn.
Carnegie intentionally cut wages to justify reducing the number of hours workers were employed. He was known to be vehemently anti-union, which resulted in workers' rights being suppressed. In 1892.
Now imagine when he was a slave master.
Yeah,
go ahead.
He and it's so heavy because he had to perfect that business model.
Yes.
In order to go, he just took it from cotton to steel.
That's all.
He took it from agriculture to industrial.
That's all.
And that's what he did. And it's exploitative practices as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's just so heavy how capitalism and slavery they intertwine. So like I yield.
And Salak, yes, sir. I did ask the AI, did Andrew Carnegie have slaves? They say Andrew Carnegie himself did not own slaves. However, his wealth was amassed in an era when slavery was still a relevant part of American history.
Yeah,
they're
that AI,
they're lying.
Catholic. That AI is a Catholic. That's really that's a Catholic AI right there. That AI living in Vatican City right now. That bastard is lying.
Yeah, they're lying. And that's because, as I said, they control it. They control it. Like you
I
type
thought
in.
AI gave it to you straight. Y'all done tag AI.
Listen, the AI evolving, so it gonna give us the answer to keep white supremacy up.
Oh man,
that's crazy. And they say he sold his steel empire to J.P. Morgan for $480 million at the time. In 1901, he have $480 million. They say in today's society it would be $15 billion.
Wow.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's crazy.
More than Trump. That's more than damn near more than Joe. I don't think it's more than Bezos, but it's more than a lot of them.
Yeah.
15
that's wild. That's wild. That's wild money.
Yeah. And remember he's so famous, I think the library in Trinidad, one, I don't know if it's named after him in San Fernando.
They have they had their names all over the place.
Yeah.
Salaki, if I may, sir.
Go ahead,
Kawakan, sir. And just to piggyback off the video Captain Mashak played earlier about the learned helplessness, like, okay, could you imagine now Black kids are in school learning about all these quote unquote successful and rich and wealthy white men, and they're not telling the truth to us about how they amassed this wealth.
Yeah.
And so now we're looking at the white kids amongst us who have better lives. It's like we in school and we recognize that they live better than us. They come from different neighborhoods. And then we hear about all these quote unquote great different white people and how they came from humble beginnings. And so the way they word it, it makes it seem like, well, he came from the bottom like we came from the bottom. So how come?
Right. No, go ahead. I was gonna jump in, but I didn't mean to. Go ahead.
No sweat, Jerome, no sweat, sir. And so it's like, because they're not telling us the truth, like Cam Khan was saying, they spinning the narrative about the history, and just instead of telling it what it is, that he was a criminal, and he was deceptive, and that's how he got his wealth. It makes us become helpless because now we're believing that, well, how come white people were able to be so successful and start from the beginning, but here we are, we've been here 400 years and we just can't get it right, and we ain't working. Like, it creates in us a cycle of low self-esteem, and then we have a negative self-image about who we are as a people, and then after a while it's just like you already have your life plan. Like, I remember I didn't have a plan for after high school. Like, I thought I just was happy to make it to 18, and then I got to 18 and I didn't even have a plan, because in my mind, that's just as far as it went. And so Kawakan, that just was what it was it. And I think about how many other brothers that we all had that same feeling, and it came from this learned helplessness and the oppressor in the schools, and them not telling us the truth about how things was really happening. So that's what I want to say about that. So
that's crazy.
If I could, just to piggyback off that, if I could, me and the brothers went downtown last weekend, and there was the Pacers game, playoffs, they lost. And we went downtown walking on the strip, and there was so many of our people out there. And I guess because school is out, it was so many young people. And I'm kind of tied all together. It was, scores of young brothers, young teenagers, hanging out, walking the strip. It's like 1 in.morning, and I'm with the brothers. I got a trooper and a young man, is rolling with me, escort me, and we just, we hitting the strip, we walking, and I kid you not, they was running up asking questions. They were looking at us like, those are the guys we're gonna follow in the battle. Those look like the guys that we gotta follow in the future. That's how they was looking at us. Like they didn't have no, like they seen leadership, which is something that they don't see every day. Because mind you, we're on the street. And so they see the way we move, and it's really the spirit of Christ. They see the way we move in with discipline, with order, with structure, something that they don't see blacks with. And man, they were the way they was looking. It was like they were parting like the Red Sea. I really felt like you could mention, Yahanna, when everybody stands and salutes you when you walk through. It's the spirit of Christ. That's how walking through the brothers, walking through all them young teenagers. You think, oh, the young teenagers, they wilding, they rowdy, it's dangerous, blah blah blah. But the way they was looking at us, they were looking like they were desperate for real leadership. And they seen it in us, which is the spirit of Christ. So a lot of these young dudes that are in these schools getting gaslighted, getting lied to, getting manipulated, them young brothers gonna leave that BS, and when they see this truth, they're gonna recognize it.
Yep.
They're gonna recognize it, because how could you not with the stuff that's coming out in these last days?
Don't know.
That's right.
Damn right. And that's a trait we must carry.
That's right.
We must show them the leadership of Yahushua in us, so that they can know where to look, so that they can get where they need to get, so they can get the things that add to them.
Right.
Otherwise, they're gonna just listen to anything that's out there. They don't need that.
Come on. And generally, the crime, the additional crime to that learned helplessness is they'll turn around now and teach a whole generation. Because that video is, you could tell that's old VHS tape. So that got to the 80s, early 90s, maybe. So now you have a whole generation now who is maybe children or grandchildren from those people, and they'll teach our young about victim mentality.
Yeah.
That's big, and make you feel bad for the same helplessness you teach us to have.
Yeah.
Like we in a whole mind pretzel with this thing. They totally have us all the way twisted up. Twisted up. Like you teach one generation one thing, then come and blame their offspring and say you have a victim mentality after.
Yeah. I to what you're saying too, Cap. Just for example, right? General, I don't know if you all heard that Kanye West song where he said "Hail," you know what I mean?
I heard about it, but I didn't hear the song itself.
General, you know what I mean? They up in the air over that song. They banned that song on almost all platforms. You understand? But when it comes to us, is you know what I mean? No music. You know what I mean? That ain't nothing wrong with what your entertainers putting out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You understand? Because it's all over the internet. You telling me my son watching this rapper glorify drug dealing? If I'm not wrong, where you think he gonna be? Where you think he gonna be if he don't have somebody to guide him? He gonna be a drug dealer. You understand? Your daughter, she's going into the strip club. If she's allowed, she don't have that guidance. You know what I mean? To say, no, this is wrong, baby. This is wrong.
Right.
You understand? She don't have that guidance. So that is, you know what I mean? What they're doing to us is, you know what I mean? It's totally, you know what I mean, atrocious. You understand? And they're gonna have to, you know what I mean? They're gonna pay for that. They're gonna have to pay for it. You know what I mean? Like you literally taking advantage. It's almost like what you're saying, General. They use us as a scapegoat until when it turned on them. Now it's like, nah, this is wrong. You can't. This has to be banned on all platforms.
Right.
Now, music is a problem.
Right.
I thought music was just art. You know what I mean? I thought it was just art. Now you can't say certain things.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If I could, it's so heavy. Like what you're saying, Captain. I thought like our culture has been infiltrated, man.
Yeah,
it's been infiltrated on so many levels. That's why the whole thing with the narrative is a point of contention when it comes to history and what we deal with. Because somebody like is Carnegie is, where was he a tyrant or a tycoon? It depends on who you ask.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you ask the workers who lost an eye or arm and couldn't get health care or whatnot, he was a tyrant. But if you ask his business partners, he was a tycoon. So the narrative plays, your perspective plays a lot. And that's why they never want us to use our eyes. They never want us to use our ears. We have to use theirs.
That's right.
And that's why it's so important, man, for us to really come into the UPK and understand what it means to have a culture. A lot of people say, well, y'all a cult. No, there's a difference between a cult and having a culture.
Right.
We enforce the culture, even with these relationships, even with our relationships and got so bad, we're gonna have to damn near go back to arranged marriages.
Yeah, that's right.
To reset, to restore the balance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There got to be some checks and balances. You want it with Esau, checks and balances. We're going to have it with us. And these laws, the book of the law, the law, statutes, and commandments, you know what I'm saying? And being in the spirit of the law is how we're going to get back to that.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Because it's evident that this man's way of life is death.
That's it.
So I yield.
And if I could say one thing for that, especially with what Nayathak was saying with the music. Because one of the narratives, like I would say, they would put out, they would say, well, it sells. Stop buying. That's what sells, right? That's what sells. They would say that with Kanye, but this is the real truth about it. When you look up who are the top selling artists of all time, and ain't no rapper on there. It's guys like Michael Jackson, The Weeknd, Bruno Mars, Whitney Houston. These are people, real musical artists that made more. That even Drake is on there, who's not no drill rapper. He's a rapper, but he's not no drill kill nobody rapper. And those are the highest selling ever. So the highest best selling ain't the drug and killing and shooting music. That's the music they just want to push. And act like that's what sells. You think Sexy Red music is really selling? Talk about eating booty holes and like that's the real music that everybody really want to hear. So the narrative, like Kahan said, the narrative is so important. Who's saying it is so important, and that's why I learned from the UPK. And when we on the streets battling them devils in person, and they see the black man, destroy mental, with his mind, the words and the doctrine of these oppressors is powerful. Like it makes a real big impact when they see that.
That's right.
Good point.
That's
all right, I'm getting out of here. Y'all young men, y'all can stay up all night. I got another interview in the morning. I'm going to bed. Messing with y'all.
Tawada for coming through.
I appreciate it.
I make sure you catch Commander Yahanna every Monday, 9 p.m. I know when the whole circuit round table of truth.
Yeah, we'll be on Round Table of Truth tomorrow night on the war report, which means we're going to directly just talk about everything that's going on with the war.
That's right.
That's something worth checking out. You know what I'm saying? Coming tomorrow night, Round Table of Truth on YouTube.
So again, Tawada again for coming through. So we down in North Carolina, July 3rd through 6th. Can y'all check it out? Stay plugged in. You're gonna get all the events and everything. Pray for them bombs in the morning.
On 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.